From Hillsboro High School in Hillsboro, Missouri. I'm Tommy yourself alongside Eric Overly. Glad to be coming in from Hillsboro High School, and it should be a great game. It's two teams. Last week the Hillsboro Hawks, they're struggling right now because they had a tough loss last week between, and they're a young team, and they're a very young team. Oh, we apologize for having some technical difficulties here, but they're a pretty young team, and so they had a 26-6 loss last week to Deschênes, but they're still a very young team, and they're still trying to figure it out as they take on Fredericktown this week.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's one thing about this school. Every time we had to come to Hillsboro all the way back to the A's, they packed the stands no matter what. They have got a great fan base here. Looks like Fredericktown brought quite a few of their fans with them. It looks like the coin flip's getting ready to go, Tommy. Yeah,
we're getting set here at Hillsboro High School, home of the Hawks in Hillsboro, Missouri, the county seat of Jefferson County. Hillsboro is in their, it's a blue C here. They got the white pants, blue jerseys with white numbers, names on the back, the white helmets, and the H on the side. Fredericktown in black pants, white jersey tops, and black helmets. And the coin flip is up. I want to give you the captains for Hillsboro. They are number 23, senior Jacob Kellum, number 42, Zach Warren, number 53, Jacob Kraus, and number 43, Clayton Sansucci. And the captains for Fredericktown are Drake Spangler, Rylan Matthews, Dalton King, and Dakota Dowd. Hillsboro has won the toss. They will decide to defer. They will elect to defer. So Fredericktown will start this game off on offense. And Hillsboro has chosen the goalpost to our right. That would be the goalpost to the west as the sun sets just to our right. So we probably have not too much more of daylight right now. But we are just ready and just getting set. Well, Eric, these are two teams they've played the last 3 years. All 3 years, the home team has won, and so Fredericktown coming in here and trying to break serve this week.
I'm sure they're fired up for this because both coaches, they know those stats. So it'll be real interesting how Fredericktown's prepared to come and play on the road. They were at home last week, so we'll see what happens tonight.
And it'll be interesting to see Hillsboro because they graduated 19 seniors last year, and so they've only got 9 seniors on the roster this year, and those 9 seniors don't have a lot of experience because those 19 seniors last year were very strong, going to the quarterfinals of the playoffs, so they got most of those playing time. So the seniors on the field now don't really have a lot of senior experience. So it's a very young, very green team, as Brian Robbins has referred to these Hillsboro Hawks.
Yes, it is. And he said they are in a learning curve. We expect them to progress as every week goes on. We'll see what kind of adjustments they made this week and how much of it the kids absorbed and took in.
The kicker is for Hillsboro. It's a short kick. They tried the onside kick, and it was fielded at the Fredericktown 45. The kicker is Clayton Sansucci. And so Hillsboro tried the onside kick there, Eric. Very aggressive. It wasn't your typical onside kick, trying to kick it high and get it. They basically kicked it right at a guy, trying to get it to bounce off his chest, but it didn't work. And so Fredericktown will start at their own 45 in great position.
It was a great chance to try to catch Fredericktown off guard. It's not something you see, especially in week 2.
And so the starting offense for Fredericktown looks like this. The quarterback is Drake Spangler. The running backs are Chris Filey and Caleb Carver. And the handoff is to the left side, and he's going to be brought down in the backfield. A early loss of yardage for Fredericktown, as I believe that was Caleb Carver on the carry for Fredericktown. He is going to lose 3 yards on the play. That will back them up to the 42-yard line. And so it will be 2nd and 13 coming up for the Black Cats. In the shotgun, send a man in motion, 2 receivers to the right. They fake the handoff, and a sack by Drake Spangler. Spangler is the quarterback of Fredericktown, and it looks like number 42 for Zach Warren, the linebacker, for Fredericktown went in there and got the sack. It looked like a broken play, Eric. I think it was supposed to be a handoff, but the running back wasn't there.
It was a bit of a broken play, but it looks like he came through on a delayed blitz there, and they didn't pick him up. He came through clean to get to the quarterback.
So that backs him up even further. 3rd and 15, dropping back to pass, looking downfield. He has a man open, and it's intercepted by number 23. But Jacob Kellum going back, and he will take it back to inside Fredericktown territory. So an interception for Hillsboro on this first drive. Boy, what a turn of events. What a way to start it off.
The interception.
The pass was a little bit overthrown, and Kellum did a great job staying with his coverage and just ran right underneath the vet ball and picked it off.
Ruling is an illegal block in the back.
And so we do have a flag down on the play. So is that going to turn? I don't think that's going to defer the penalty, though. I think it happened after the interception.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, because they're backing up into the. It's an illegal block in the back, so that's a spot foul. So that's going to be on the return. So that's going to be that's going to start Hillsboro ball deep in their own territory. Wow, way back at their own 20.
The interception still have the team pretty well fired up. That does hurt a little bit to lose about 15 or 20 yards on that return.
So after the interception, Hillsboro retains.
So they will start at their own 24, 10:47 remaining in this first quarter. What a way to start it off for Hillsboro. So they will start it out on offense, a very young offense, very run-heavy offense. And Justin, the quarterback, is going to take it himself. He's going to flip it. Looks like he flipped it to Chris Walsh, and Walsh will pick up a couple, but not much.
Looked like we had about 3 in on that tackle. It was hard to see who got there first.
So a carry for Chris Walsh of maybe a yard on the play makes it 2nd and 9.
Walsh with the carry, a pickup of about a yard, brings up 2nd down and 9.
So 2nd and 9 coming up for the Hillsboro Hawks. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Oberle. Glad to have you along with us. And you can watch this game, don't forget, on KJF Web TV at mymoinfo.com. Hey, Justin going to hand it off to the left side, running around the outside corner. And a good pickup. Good pickup by number 16, Zach Hart on the carry. Brock O'Neill on the tackle for Fredericktown. This is a very run-heavy offense for Hillsboro. I think they only threw 2 passes last week. We get a flag down on the play. The referees are discussing it, and Hillsboro is walking backwards. It's an illegal shift on Hillsboro.
Against Hillsboro.
That is the preliminary indication, and Hillsboro is going backwards.
Coming off that interception, it's unfortunate to see him pick up a couple of penalties like that and really take that momentum away from your team.
And so that will back up Hillsboro. That will back them up about 5 yards, so it will be 2nd and 14 coming up for the Hillsboro.
Down and 14.
With 9:58 to go here in the first quarter. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Oberle here on KJFF and on KJF Web TV High School Football. Hillsboro at home here against Fredericktown. Hillsboro breaks the huddle, looking at a log 2nd and 14. Just trying to get some offensive momentum really going here, just trying to figure it out. Still a very young team. Justin under center for Hillsboro. He's dropping back to pass, and it looks like he will be sacked, still going down, and he will be by number 57, Brian Fingers on the sack for Fredericktown. And so that's going to back up Hillsboro even more. A loss of, let's see here, they were started at the 20-yard line. That's going to back them up to the 15. So a 5-yard loss for Hillsboro, and that will make it 3rd down and 19 to go. Well, both teams going backwards here, Eric.
Yes, they are. That looked very similar to the sack that Hillsboro had. It almost looked like he just blew through the line untouched. Now, somebody missed their mark, it looked like a little bit on that one.
Yeah, both teams still just kind of out of sort, trying to find their offensive rhythm right here. 3rd down and 19 to go for Hillsboro from their own 15. Send a man in motion. Justin hands it off, running on the left side with plenty of room to run. Gets the block, breaks the tackle, loses the football, and it's going to go out of bounds. That was number 22, Chris Walsh, on the carry for Hillsboro. And as this tackle was being made, the ball popped out of his hands, but luckily enough for the Hawks, it rolled out of bounds. And so a lucky break for Hillsboro, and I think they'll pick up the 1st down on the play.
That fumble helped him out. I think that's what gave him the first down on that one.
And it gave him a couple extra yards, too. A couple of members of Fredericktown had a play on the ball, but just couldn't quite rally. So that will be a first for Hillsboro. That will move them up to the 38-yard line. First down and 10 from the 38. Justin dropping. No, it's a handoff to Chris Walsh on the right side. Breaks the tackle. Stiff arm. Runs over a guy out of bounds. A first down by Chris Walsh. Good 11 or 12-yard carry there by Walsh again. Running around the right edge. And he picked up about 11 on the play, and he gets it into Fredericktown territory. To the 49-yard line of Fredericktown. So Chris Walsh doing the job for the Hawks.
Jacob Young with the carry. First down from the, it'll be first and 10 from the Fredericktown 49.
First and 10 from the Fredericktown 49. Substitution here by Hillsboro, trying to get the right guys on the field. Looks like number 77 for Hillsboro, Pete Mock. So they went in, they gave him the play. He is headed on back out there, over there at left tackle. Jarrett Johnson under center for Hillsboro. He hands it off up the middle, and it won't get much. Maybe a gain of 3 on the play. I missed who the carrier was.
I think that was Chris Walsh on the carry.
Yeah, I believe that was as well. So Chris Walsh with a couple of tackles, or excuse me, a couple of good runs here for Hillsboro. Picks up 3 yards on the play, and it's 2nd and 7 from the Fredericktown 46. Well, Eric, Hillsboro just trying to keeping them all on the ground. They're a very run-heavy team, but this drive, it looks like they finally found a little bit in Chris Walsh.
They're mixing things up quite nicely.
Handed off to the left side. That's Walsh up the middle. Oh, a touchdown saving tackle. Ankle tackle made by somebody on Fredericktown. I missed who it was, but Walsh on the carry again. And we get a Fredericktown Black Cat that is down on the field. He is injured.
Doc O'Neill's saving a big gainer there with the tackle.
An injured player on the field.
Number 63, Austin Stevens, is down on the play. His helmet is off. And it looks like he is in some major pain right now. The training staff is out to tend to him. And they are working on him out. Last week, Eric, we were at Fox and saw a really bad injury there. I think it was Austin Eberhardt for Seckman was very badly injured. He got a concussion and had a neck strain. They actually took him off on an ambulance just as a precaution. And this looks pretty bad because he is this Fredericktown player that's down out there. He's got his helmet. And I don't know if his helmet came off or he took his helmet off. But he is in some pain, and there's 4 people out there tending to him.
It's hard to tell where the injury is. It looks like they're talking to him right now to find out what's going on, and now they're looking at his left leg.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of he's laying on his back. He's got his right knee bent a little bit, so he's got his right knee up, and he's laying on his back. He's got his hands over his face, and I can't quite tell where they're looking at on him. But this is always tough. Eric, for both teams, you have a bad injury like this, and in Hillsboro, they were in such a good rhythm there. Chris Walsh was really running it well. It kind of stalls a little bit of their momentum. This is not a purposeful injury timeout. I'm sure that's not what they're doing here. But they had some really good rhythm going, and it's tough to come back after a long delay like this, especially when they were moving the ball so well. Yeah,
it's hard to say what happened, and there were a lot of people in the middle of the field where Walsh ran right up in there. So, and they are holding onto his left knee still and talking to him at the same time. I'm still not quite sure what happened. It's unfortunate. You never see one of these young men get injured. But.
And this looks like it's more serious than a cramp, because last week we saw a lot of cramping with the major heat last week. Not quite as hot, pretty warm here. The sun's almost down. It's still over the treetops over there, but there's a nice breeze going through here, so not quite as hot last week, but this looks much more serious than a cramp. This is some kind of major injury, and now Hillsboro is taking a knee But looks like they are going to be tending to him for a while. It looks like it'll be a while before he is up. We are going to go ahead and take a break. We will take a 2-minute timeout here on KJFF. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJFF Web TV.
The Medicine Shop, with locations in Festus and Peebly, is committed to providing the residents of Jefferson County with much more than just prescription refills, like free local delivery, automatic refills, and reminders, diabetic and medical equipment, and the personal service that you deserve, just to name a few. That's the Medicine Shop Pharmacies, across from the post office in Festus and on Commercial Boulevard in Peebly, caring beyond prescription.
Whether you're looking for a windshield wiper motor or a disc brake rotor, you'll find it, along with 800,000 other top-quality automotive products at B&A CarQuest in Hillsboro. From passenger car and light truck, import or domestic, heavy-duty, fleet and farm, marine, ATV, industrial, and more, CarQuest supplies top-quality parts that you can depend on. Hi, I'm Dan Kennedy, owner of B&A. Just like it sounds, centrally located between highways B and A. We take pride in our hometown service, along with a selection that is second to none. Stop in the store or give us a call at 636-794-0900. That's 636-794-0900. Or shop 24/7 at CarQuest.com. We're always there to serve you. B&A CarQuest, located next to the school in Hillsboro. Great people, great products, and great prices. That's CarQuest.
Putting your family first.
Hi, this is Calvin Dantley at the Jefferson County Family YMCA. We're looking for teens ages 12 to 17 to be a part of our Teen Leaders Club. They'll have the opportunity to interact with each other and have fun while discussing topics like goal setting, financial management, community service, and even dating and relationships, just to name a few. Contact me, Calvin Dantley, and find out more about the Teen Leaders Club at your local Jefferson County Family YMCA, 931-9622, or online at www.ymcastlouis.org.
We are back here at Hillsboro High School. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Oberle, and they are still, Eric, tending to somebody out there. It's hard to tell. It's definitely a defensive lineman. I haven't seen who it is, but it doesn't look like he's moved a whole lot. So this is it's pretty serious here. The injury here for Fredericktown. It can't tell who it is. And now it looks like Ed Marino. It is, as we get note here, it is number 73. That is Martez Long for Fredericktown. And so Martez Long down on the field. Very long injury timeout. And bad news here, because it looks like we've got non-trainers out there, Eric. You've got, I think that's Athletic Director Ed Marino. Now we've got a Jefferson County officer out there, so this probably means that they're probably thinking about bringing the ambulance on. I don't see the ambulance anywhere, but they always have one here with a situation like this.
We do have the fire truck up top, so I would assume that the paramedics are here, and they are coming down the hill now. They're bringing the backboard down.
Yeah, they're bringing
I'm sure they'll take every precaution with this.
Well, and that's what the case was last week. You know, it was Austin Eberhard for Seckman. He went down. It was actually on a kickoff return, and he and another guy just collided real bad. And he had some bad neck pain, and they just as a precaution. They put him on a stretcher. They put a collar around his neck and put him on a stretcher and took him off on the ambulance just as a precaution. And, you can't, you take, especially with these young high school kids with any kind of neck or head injury, you take every precaution you can.
Oh, absolutely. All the officials, we have to look at online concussion training and all sorts of things. The officials aren't in any way, shape, or form allowed to administer any kind of help. We're not allowed to touch any of the kids or anything, but we have to be aware of everything that's going on with concussion symptoms and all sorts of things like that. The state is very aware of this, and especially on the kickoffs, they've made so many rule changes in the last few years to try to eliminate a lot of those big collisions that you used to have years past, where they'd have the big wall and send a guy down to just blow it up.
Right.
They've really tried to get away from that quite a bit, especially in high school.
And that's just the thing, that this wasn't even a kickoff return. This was just a run up the middle. So it's still it's very hard to tell what is. Although right now they're looking at his left leg, so it must be a leg injury, because he's lying on his back, but you got the paramedics and you've got the trainers, and they are tending to his left leg. So you were right there. It looks like they're tending to his left knee. Now they're talking to him.
That's great, though. You see his arms moving. He is moving his arms around and things, so we don't have a situation there where we possibly a neck. But if it is a knee, thank goodness for that. That is something that a young athlete like this, they can recover from, and hopefully it's nothing too serious that'll keep him out for too long.
Well, as we mentioned, this is number 73, Martez Long, 5'8", 240 pounds, and he's listed as just a freshman. So this could, you just hope this isn't something that's we keep him out for the season. Although you think if they're out there tending to him for this long, it's most likely something he's probably not going to be playing next week. So you just hope that it's everything is well and good. Well, normally we would take this time to recap the game, but there's really not a whole lot to recap. We're only we have about 7 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the first quarter. There's been very little to talk about. Fredericktown has started a drive on their own 45, but they never got a first down. They just went backwards a couple times, and then it was on third and long. It was interception by Jacob Kellen for Hillsboro. There was a penalty on the play, so that backed it up a little bit. So Hillsboro started on their own 24 with 10:47 to go in the first quarter. And so right now the ball is at the Fredericktown 33. And so this drive is 3 minutes old and, about 50 yards. But there really hasn't been a lot. Still very early in the game.
It looks like Walsh has accumulated pretty much all of their offense, almost 45 to 48 yards. It looks like his long was his last run of about 14, not including the fumble that they picked up the extra 5 or 6 that ended up getting knocked out of bounds. So he's accounted for about 99% of their offense so far. And that's about everything in the way of offense for this game as well.
That's basically it. Well, it looks like they're still going to be tending to him. And they're not moving him yet, so I think there's still some time here. So we are going to go ahead and take another 2-minute break here on KJFF. So we'll be back, still give you a recap here. Still nothing early in the first quarter between Fredericktown and Hillsboro. No score. We only had 2 possessions. We're going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break. This is Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Covenant Care Services is your locally owned in-home care provider that offers personal care services and private duty nursing service for pediatrics and seniors. With offices in Fredericktown, Poplar Bluff, Salem, St. Genevieve, and Cape Girardeau, Covenant Care serves 29 southeast Missouri counties. For more information on Covenant Care Service, you can call 783-6256 or 866-783-6256. Covenant Care Services, caring is their promise to you.
I'm Dan. And I'm Clay. For Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. When you call them, you will talk to a real person. That's right, Dan. You don't talk to an answering machine. For more options. When I call my dry cleaner, I always have to press pants. Well, you don't have to press anything when you call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance because you talk to a real local person. Do they do shirts?
For auto, home, life, or health, call me, Farm Bureau Agent Joe Reed in Festus, or stop by my office on Highway 61, just across from Mercy Hospital Jefferson.
The law office of Bob Kister Trial Lawyer, LLC in Herculaneum will work hard for you. With 30 years of experience in personal injury and workers' compensation, including auto, motorcycle, truck accidents, premises liability, medical malpractice, defective product injury claims, and Social Security disability claims, the law office of Bob Kister is dedicated and committed to the success of your case. When you need an experienced attorney and someone who will work hard for you, call trial attorney Bob Kister on McNutt Road in Herculaneum, 636-931-4459.
Forget everything you thought you knew about buying tires and hurry in and see the gang at Plaza Tire in Festus. Tire customers enjoy Plaza Tire's lowest price plan. Beat any competitor's total tire purchase on any comparable tire.
Hillsboro High School. I'm myself alongside Eric Oberle, and they are still tending to the injured player down there, Tez Long, who hasn't been doing much. It's pretty clear now that he's working on his left knee. Thankfully, I mean, it's not never injury is never a good thing, but if you're gonna injure it, you probably prefer maybe I don't know, this maybe a stupid comment. I mean, but we're still early on here. still tending to him. Haven't moved out. They brought paramedics out, but still working on him down there.
It is amazing the technology, how far they've come with dealing with knee injuries and things like that. Back out, the guy threw his knee out. They just went in and opened up your knee and took out whatever you broke, whatever you tore, and then they sewed you back up.
Still tending to him down there on the field. And haven't moved him much, so this must be, if you're looking at his left knee or left leg somewhere, but still trying to figure out what there. And as time goes on, more and more people go out there. You got your traders, you've got the paramedics who are here on standby out there as well. So still working on them. This is really tough, and as a team, as a player and as a coach, how do you try and keep your guys? I mean, you look down here, and now we see the ambulance coming by with its lights on. So I guess there wasn't an ambulance here, but there was a fire truck. So they had paramedics here, and now the ambulance is coming through. So it looks like they're going to bring in the ambulance here. But I mean, how do you keep your players into this? Right now, is it more of a mental thing right now to just mentally stay into the game?
Absolutely, and you try to get your coaches or anybody who's available on that side, assistant coaches who meet to talk to the kids about maintaining their focus, try to keep them moving so that they don't get tightened up, even though we are early in the game. Get water in them, talk about what you want to do. Just try to keep their mind on the game rather than what's going on the field. The difficult part is when you're a parent. You see a kid get hurt. You want to go down on that field, but you have to trust these coaches and these trainers and these paramedics to do what they're going to do, and you have to stay out of their way, and it's very difficult to do. I've had a couple of kids get hurt playing sports, and it is tough to sit in the stands and just contain yourself.
And you see some players on both sides there. Most of them were down on a knee right now, but now, after this long, you go down onto a knee out of respect, but after this long, you almost need to stay up, and move it around. And you see some players on the Hillsboro sideline throwing a ball around, just trying to stay loose. You don't have to worry about staying warm, certainly on a night like this, but you have to at least stay loose and stay stretched out. It's still early in the game, so there's stuff that you can run over, but this is the time where you have to make sure that you're not. So what do you want to do after the game? How'd you do that history test today?
Exactly. And you really look to your senior leadership and your captains too to make sure that they're in there doing the thing, talking to the guys about what they did right so far, and some things they may want to pick up the block a little quicker. Once they start getting him loaded up and getting him on his way where they can take care of him, you'll probably see the players start moving around a little bit, but so they don't tighten up too much and risk another injury, just a pulled muscle or something like that after standing for so long.
And they have a fence all the way around the track here, and it's right up against the track, and so it doesn't look like there's a gate anywhere that's big enough for the ambulance to drive through. And so the ambulance, if you were on the north side of the field here, the field basically runs east to west, lengthwise, and so the press box here is on the north side, and so there's a ambulance across the way at the southwest corner of the field, but it's not on the track. It's outside of the fence, and some extra paramedics have showed up here in an ambulance with the lights flashing, and they have pulled on they brought out the back brace, the stiff back brace. I don't think they're going to use that. They're going to put him on the stretcher and park him out to the ambulance there and take him away. Last week, on second we saw them. They just drove the ambulance right onto the field, but they can't really do that here. But boy, this is. I mean, I can imagine that this would be tough for a parent or a family member to think it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on out there? And I do see a person out there, and I kind of wonder if that is a parent out there, because after he went down, there was a guy that doesn't look like it. He's not dressed like it. He's just dressed like a fan. He's not a trainer or anything. He looks like he might be a parent, but I don't know. This is just a tough time right now.
I know when I was sitting in the stands and one of my kids would get hurt, the first thing out of my wife's mouth was get down there.
Yeah.
And I just had to sit and let the people do what they wanted, they needed to do, and let them do the jobs. These guys are trained for that, because I know I'm not trained for it. So there wasn't a whole lot I can do other than hold a hand, and say a prayer if you're religious, or go from there.
We'll try and get you some score updates if we can. Still early on, probably not a lot of scoring so far. but they're still tending to him right now. We should be probably most likely seeing him. And now, as some of the people break away, I see a small hole, and you can see that they have got his left leg wrapped up near the left knee. And so they have got him wrapped up very tight there. And they're getting ready to send him off. Get some of the score updates in. Festus and Sullivan, they are meeting up in our J98 update game of the week, and they are tied up at 7 apiece. That is in the first quarter there. And so that's just one score update there. And now we see, you can tell that they're about getting ready to go. Hillsboro is still jogging around, running around, trying and staying loose and whatever. And yeah, this is really going to test this very young Hillsboro team. And I thought this is really, because you mentioned this is where you rely on your senior leadership right now, but they don't have a lot of senior leadership. They have 9 seniors on the team, but they don't have a lot of playing time. Now they have, they've been playing because they are seniors, but this is a very young team, and so this is going to be tough to, have a delay like this to have to come back from behind this.
It is, but the main thing, this is about learning experience, about sportsmanship. It isn't necessarily about winning or losing. The priorities here at the high school level are different. I'm sure that the coaches will talk to them about this, and, these are the types of things that young kids will. Do we have him up now?
Well, it looks like they've got him up on the stretcher, and the folks are clapping, and it looks like the defense stayed on the field for Fredericktown. Most of the team is on the sideline, but the defense, they stayed on the field, and they were over there. And just moments ago, they jogged on over. I guess they saw that he was moving and got him up on the stretcher, and they jogged over there to give him a high five or you're doing all right or whatever. So a nice moment there, but. You just hope that he's okay. They'll put him to the hospital, take him away on the ambulance, and just hope it's nothing super incredibly serious. Hope nothing's broken. But certainly if he's been down this long and they wrapped him up and they're bringing the ambulance out, it's they don't bring the ambulance out when you twist your ankle. So you have to think that it is something fairly serious because they wouldn't be taking him off on the ambulance if it wasn't. You just hope that. It's not, career-ending or, he is just a freshman. Now he's up there, and you can see him. He's moving his arms. He is sitting. He's sitting up straight, and now they are wheeling him up on the stretcher.
And that's great to see him sitting up. That definitely rules out any kind of neck or back issues or things like that. Oh, it's number 63.
Oh, so we got. So it's number 63. We apologize for that. We thought it was number 73. It's number 63. It is Austin Stevens. Is the player that was down. So we apologize for that. We really said it was Marquez wrong. It is not. It is number 63, Austin Stevens. And so they are wheeling him off. But it looks, at least that he's, he's sitting up. He's moving his arms around. It's hard to see his face from here, but they're wheeling him off. And so we get a score update in the second quarter. South Callaway leads Crystal City 6-0, and St. Mary's leads Windsor 7-0. And so they have him off the field. They are on to the track now. They are just about into the ambulance, and so we are just moments away from action getting started here again. To recap what's going on here, we're at Hillsboro High School. Hillsboro is hosting the Fredericktown Black Cats. 7:47 remaining in the first quarter, so still very early on. Fredericktown got started, and their drive ended on an interception by Jacob Kellum. And after that interception, Chris Walsh has really got it done and moved the ball very nicely for Hillsboro. And Hillsboro has the ball at the Fredericktown 33. And so both teams are back out on the field, and we are ready to go. They hand it off up the middle on the right side to Jacob Kellum, running off the right tackle, and he'll get a couple. He'll pick up maybe 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Jacob Kellum with the carry, number 72, to put it down on the tackle.
So it will be 2nd and 8 coming up for Fredericktown. Another running play that time by Jacob Kellum. This is a running team, Eric. They don't throw the ball a lot. They keep the ball on the ground.
So they run that wing tee offense, which is really designed for the running, the slants, for a little bit of a misdirection and things like that. That's what it's really set for. What you do...
Two wide receivers out. They hand it off on the left side to Chris Walsh. Breaks the tackle, breaks through an offset, gets through the hole. He is in for the touchdown. Number 22, Chris Walsh takes it in from 31 yards out. A 31-yard touchdown run by number 22, Chris Walsh. And we have our first score of the ball game, Eric.
This young man is impressive. He broke 2 arm tackles on just blew right through the arm tackles and took off. He showed us he does have the ability to get up the field really quickly.
So a 31-yard touchdown run by Chris Walsh. And so on to kick the extra point is number 43, number 18, Sam Mock is out to attempt the extra point. Garrett Johnson is the holder. And now we get a flag right as the ball is snapped. So it looks like we will get a, that is a false start, illegal procedure penalty there on Hillsboro. Somebody started a little early. And so that will back them up 5 yards. And it'll be a little bit longer extra point try for Hillsboro. The holder is Jarrett Johnson. The long snapper is Nick Bowling. And on to attempt the kick is Sam Mott. So they will back it up 5 yards. Mock, a right-footed kicker. The snap is down. The kick is up. And it is no good. Missed it to the side. So the extra point is no good. But we do get our first touchdown of the game on a 31-yard run by Chris Walsh. We'll be back. We'll take a minute break. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Hi, this is David McFarland. At McFarland Travel, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in one-on-one service. We discuss your needs and desires, do our research, and provide you with options, all within parameters that you have set. When you book online, you do all the work and then give your hard-earned money to someone you will never meet and without fully knowing what your options are. Shop locally and book safely with McFarland Travel at 206 Main Street in Festus, or call us at 937-5679 or toll-free 888-440-5679.
Since 1974, Comtree has helped people suffering from alcohol and other drug abuse. Comtree remains committed to its mission to be an innovative, effective, and responsive community mental health center for Jefferson County. At Comtree, they believe in the importance of addressing issues of concern through direct patient care, prevention, and educational efforts. Professional care is available to you at Comtree with adult and adolescent programs, inpatient care, and 3 outpatient and aftercare locations. Call 931-2700.
We are back on KJFF, a touchdown run there by Chris Walsh, and Hillsboro gets on the board first. They're up 6-0 with 6:51 to go. Back to receive the kick for Fredericktown. It's a short kick. It is fielded by number 5 of Fredericktown. He's running to the left side, cuts to the middle. That is Brock O'Neill. He cuts it to the left side, breaks the tackle, stiff arm, and he will be brought down. Still going. My goodness, how many tackles has he broken? Looks like he was down like 3 times. And
David Carter got him on the initial contact and tried to bring him backwards. After that, they had to gang tackle him.
He broke about 3 tackles there. It looked like he was down, but he was able to stiff arm and escape.
That'll bring up a Fredericktown first down from the 36-yard line.
And so it will be 1st and 10 Fredericktown from their own 36-yard line. 6:37 remaining in the first quarter. I'm Tommy Stupp alongside Eric Oberle. We're here at Hillsboro High School. 6-0 lead for the Hawks on top of the Fredericktown Black Cats. Snap is back. The handoff is to the right. Running right is Fredericktown. That is number 20. Pretty bad pass there.
It like somebody was expected somebody to break to the left or break to the right. And he put right in between the two, unless it was just confusion. Saw 2 of his guys and
It could be just a case of bad route runs. Jacob Kellum is to receive punt for Fredericktown. The punter is Ryan Morgan. He is back to boot it away. And Jacob Kellum is back to receive the punt for Fredericktown. The punt is a low liner. It will bounce once high up in the air. It will roll down to about the 22-yard line, and that is where Hillsboro will take over. So a turnover on downs by Fredericktown, and a good defensive stand there by Hillsboro.
Excellent defensive stand. They really holding them back when they had 8 yards to go. They can set back into their drop zones and really try to pick up on the defense to not give them any opportunities to throw any kind of a pass on that third down play.
Remaining in the first quarter.
And so Hillsboro will get the ball starting at their own 22-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. They are still on near close to their sideline. And it looks like the head referee has waved his hand. And so the play clock has started, and Hillsboro is not out on the field yet. Now they're running out there. They kind of need to hurry. They've got 15 seconds left on the play clock. It's down to 10. Hillsboro needs to hurry up here. Johnson under center, same formation. He's back, and he will take it to a tackle, and he's off to the races. Dodges another tackle. He takes us up to the 40. A nice run there by Jarrett Johnson. Number 72, Dakota Dowden, on the tackle for Hillsboro, and a nice run there by Johnson.
That was an excellent run. He picked up about 15, 16 on the...
17 or 18 on the play. That'll bring up a...
Yep, nice job, quarterback keep on the option read there.
Yeah, Hillsboro, they run every defense has been out of the same formation. They've got 2 wide receivers out. They've got Johnson. Again here, they hand it off up the middle. And still, carrying tacklers a 15-yard run. Takes it up past the 50-yard line. Now Fredericktown saying they have the ball, and they do. A fumble by Hillsboro. Number 32 on the carry for Hillsboro, I believe. That was Devin Liston.
That was unfortunate for Hillsboro because that was a phenomenal run. They just kept the pile moving and moving and moving. And when the ball popped out somewhere in that pack, people.
On their own 47-yard line.
And so Fredericktown will start with the ball at their own 47-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10. Hand off to the right side. Hits the hole. That's Caleb Carver. And he hits a couple players, and he will be brought down at the 50-yard line. Good, strong run there. He ducked his head, and he was ready to go, but a nice tackle, nice game tackle there by Hillsboro.
Absolutely. You got 2 or 3 going to the ball. That was a great job. The young man did a great job of keeping his momentum going forward and falling forward. Get you 1 or 2 extra yards every run.
And that will be a gain of 2, so ball at the 50-yard line for Fredericktown. In the shotgun is Spangler, dropping back to pass, looking left. Plenty of time to throw now. Man gets away, dodges the sack, going to throw it, and he hits the man wide open. Number 34, that is Chris Harwood. And a great completion there by Spangler to Harwood. Big pickup there for the first down. Takes it up to about the, where they spot that, at the 34-yard line. That'll be the 36-yard line, it looks like. And I think we're going to get an official timeout. And they are going to take an official timeout, give both teams a water break. You know, they do this sometimes, Eric, with the heat like it is. So they take an official timeout here, water break. So we will take a 37, and we will be back on the other side of this break. You're listening to KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Whether you're looking for a windshield wiper motor or a disc brake rotor, you'll find it, along with 800,000 other top-quality automotive products at B&A CarQuest in Hillsboro. From passenger car and light truck, import or domestic, heavy-duty, fleet and farm, marine, ATV, industrial, and more, CarQuest supplies top quality. Depend on. Hi, I'm Dan Kennedy, owner of B&A. Just like it sounds, centrally located between highways B and A.
High School. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Overly. Give you a score update in the second quarter. Festus leads Sullivan 14-7. And also in the second quarter, Windsor leads St. Mary 8-7. And in the first quarter, Jefferson R7 is trailing 12-8 to Cleveland Naval Academy. And so we are here in still the first quarter here at a very long injury timeout. And so Fredericktown with the ball at the Hillsboro 32-yard line. So they're looking at 1st and 10. A handoff up the middle, break cuts to the left, and he'll be brought down for a loss. That is Reed Roberts. Cut to the left, but I think he was brought down maybe behind the line of scrimmage. And he will of about a yard there for Fredericktown. It's 2nd 11. So Reed Roberts with the carry there, and it will bring up 4th and 4 for Fredericktown. They will go for it here at the Hillsboro 26-yard lines. 4th and 4 to go. This is kind of a no man's land here, Eric. Too long for a field goal, too short for a punt. They will roll to the right as Spangler looking downfield. He's going to throw it. He's got a man open, and he makes the catch. No, incomplete. Incomplete rules the referee. And that will be a turnover on downs by Fredericktown. Boy, that looked like a great catch, but couldn't hold on.
He just couldn't quite get it in fast enough before he went to the ground. The coverage was nice and tight. That would have been a phenomenal catch.
And so that will bring up a 1st down and a turnover on downs there for Fredericktown. We are 2 minutes and 9 seconds away from the end of the first quarter, and Hillsboro will take over on downs from the Fredericktown 25-yard line. And once again, Hillsboro taking a long time to get out of the huddle here. There's 17 seconds left on the play clock. We need to be a little bit quicker getting out of the huddle on the sideline and getting the play out. There's 9 seconds on the play clock, and they're just now getting lined up. 5 to go. They will get this off in time. There it is. Handoff up the middle. Not going to get much on the play. Missed who that was carrying that for Hillsboro.
I did too. I think it might have been Walsh on that, but it couldn't pick him up in that pile.
Yeah, Hillsboro, they run their offense so tight, and their offensive lineup is so tight that it's really hard to see from this side.
I think that's part of this wing tee offense, a little bit of misdirection.
Yeah, so that was Chris Walsh on the carry, send a man in motion. And then we get a flag on the play, 3 flags. Walsh is down the sideline. He's got plenty, that's Kellum. Kellum's going to take it all the way to the end zone, but this one is coming back. Flags on the play.
There are flags in the backfield.
And it is going to come back. It is an illegal shift on Hillsboro. That is a backbreaker right there, Eric. You get a great run by Jacob Kellum all the way to the house for a touchdown, but it's going to come back. 3 referees threw the flag on the play.
I think you're seeing the inexperience that the coach was talking about, and these are just young man mistakes. He'll correct these situations as the season goes on. But that does hurt to give up a 75-yarder like on that play, too.
And so that will bring up 2nd down again. They will mark off 5 yards. Illegal shift on offense is the call. So that will bring up 2nd down. And that'll be 2nd and 14 to go from the Hillsboro 22. Lights are taking full effect now. The sun is completely set behind the to our right. Great facility here at Hillsboro and a great crowd on hand. So 2nd and 14 coming up for Hillsboro. Johnson under center, same formation. Now we get a whistle.
Representation is a must. You need a law firm that you can trust. So turn to the professionals at Roberts, Wooten, and Zimmer on Highway 21 in Hillsboro. Call 636-797-2693. For more information, log on to robertwootenzimmer.com. We're back here on KJFF. I'm Tommy Stuff alongside Eric Oberling. Glad to have you along with us. Hey, after the Hillsboro timeout, 6 seconds to go. That's the I thought that, looking up there and the clock was running down, I thought that was the game clock. I'm like, it's running, but that's didn't realize they put the timeout up there. So there's just a minute 17 remaining here in the first quarter on a very long first quarter. We had about I'd say that's about a 20-minute injury delay there for Fredericktown.
That last timeout was rather interesting. Coach Robbins was looking up at the booth. I wonder if there's a communication problem or something. He didn't look terribly happy with something.
So it will be 2nd and 14 for Hillsboro. And I would think that you'd have the play here. They're still in the huddle. Jared Johnson, the quarterback for Hillsboro, looking over towards the sideline. Looks like they're just cycling the play out to him now. Now they break the huddle with 12 seconds to go. Same formation for Hillsboro. Johnson under center, 2 wide receivers, 3 men in the backfield. Send a man in motion. They hand it off to Walsh. Cuts to the left, through the hole. Gets brought down from behind. Just barely got an ankle on him. And who was that on the tackle there for Fredericktown?
Chris Walsh with the carry, number 32, Riley Matthews on the...
That was a good job
Riley
by
Matthews
Walsh.
on
To keep that ball moving and keep going with that guy hanging on his ankle.
That'll bring up a
good run there by Chris Walsh. That will bring up 3rd down and 6 to go. Ball is right at the 30-yard line. Oh, excuse me, 3rd and 7. It's at the 29. 3rd and 7 to go for Hillsboro from their own 29. Just trying to keep the line moving. Probably get one more play off with the clock moving and 34 seconds to go. Got to throw it, find a man over the middle, and it is complete. The Hillsboro finally passes the ball, and they hit number 83, Brett Cole. So Brett Cole is hit on the nice slant move there by Brett Cole. Run it, did Hillsboro, but they finally hit a man there, and they get a 1st down there by Hillsboro.
That's the beauty part. They forced Fredericktown to commit to the run. If I'm not mistaken, that was their first pass of the night.
That is their first pass of the night.
One more play in this.
They commit to the run, and then you just go to that pass. It opens things up for you. It's a great job. Great play calling there.
So 1st and 10 for Hillsboro from their own 42. They run it to the right side. Walsh on the carry, and he'll get a couple. And that is going to do it. The buzzer sounds, and that is going to do it for this first quarter. Chris Walsh on the carry. Hillsboro with the ball at their own 42, and we will take a minute break. We'll be back on the other side of this with the second quarter. We'll be back in a minute on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Hi, this is Melody with the Lowry Law Firm. If you're facing criminal charges or suffering from devastating injuries, call our law office in Hillsboro or Festus. Since 1997, we have offered professional, service-oriented representation in Jefferson and surrounding counties. Our goal at the Lowry Law Firm is to put your mind at ease, and most importantly, achieve solid results. We are the Lowry Law Firm in Festus and Hillsboro. Look us up on the web at thelowrylawfirm.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The doctor is in. Board-certified family practice physician Dr. Leah Silver is now a part of Mercy Clinic. As part of the Mercy Clinic, Dr. Silver belongs to a healthcare team that is thousands strong, linking you to experts everywhere you find Mercy. It is coordinated, responsive care that is all about you. For information or to schedule an appointment with Dr. Silver, call 636-933-2900. Learn more about Mercy or find a Mercy Clinic physician at www.mercy.net.
We are back here on KJFF. I'm Tommy Self. Start of the second quarter. I'm Tommy Self. Start of the second quarter here between Hillsboro and Fredericktown. Hillsboro up 6-0 as we start. He was expecting, looked like he was expecting, but Hart never did.
It looked like it may have been a kind of a stop and go. He's supposed to fake down the field just to back the defender off. There was a little bit of miscommunication there.
And so that will bring up fourth down, and Hillsboro will punt it away. Ball at their own 42. Back to receive the punt for Fredericktown is Chase Sheldon. Or excuse me, that's not Chase Sheldon. That is Chris Harwood, excuse me. Now Hillsboro is just getting a new guy onto the field. Didn't have all the guys on the field. And I think they
didn't get it off.
They didn't get it off. I think we are going to timeout. A timeout called by Hillsboro. They couldn't get the punt off in time. And so we will take a quick 30-second timeout, and we'll be back on the other side of this break. Hillsboro about to punch. You're listening to KJFF.
Saturday, September 7th, you're invited to Twin City Toyota in our annual Children's Hot Wheel Races. Hi, this is John Poppel. Bring the kids and a canned food item for Ozark Food Pantry and 2 of their favorite Hot Wheel cars to Twin City Toyota on Saturday. Ages 3 to 7 are at 9:30 and ages 8 to 15 are at 11:30. Plus there are hot dogs and soda and a special appearance by local MMA fighter Lance Benoist. For more information, call Twin City Toyota or go to Twin City Days website at twincity.org. Get ready to race Hot Wheels Saturday, September 7th.
We're back here at Hillsboro High School. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Overly. Hillsboro about to punt, and Eric, you can tell that their youth is showing. I don't know if I've ever seen they've had to call a timeout because they're about to get a delay of game on a punt. Couldn't get the punt team on there.
I don't know if this is by design to kind of slow the game down a little bit, or if they're having some communication issues, but it appears there's something going on with getting the plays off on the Hillsboro side of the ball.
And so we are just seconds away, 11:10 on the clock. It looks like Hillsboro is having some communication problems, I think. But I think it could be a little bit of both. You know, still a very... And so back to punt it away for Hillsboro is Sam Mock. Back to receive it, Chris Hardwood. A low liner, good punt there by Mock. It will bounce at the 25 and take a good Hillsboro to the 20. So that is going to help out the Fredericktown return.
Another unfortunate situation because that was a good 20 yards away from where the ball was almost down. Really, somebody got a little too aggressive on that punt.
Yeah, it was a very good punt too. Kind of a low liner, kind of good. Got a good Hillsboro bounce. A good punt there by Hillsboro, but Fredericktown's going to get a little bit better field position than what Hillsboro thought. So it's going to be a personal foul on Hillsboro. And it is going to be declined. And so Fredericktown will go ahead and take the ball. I don't know why they declined that penalty.
Fredericktown has declined the
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
Declined the penalty. I guess they didn't want to have them. I would think you'd either have them re-kick it or, take the 15 yards.
Well,
whatever it is.
Since it was after the kick, the penalty would have to be assessed. Unless, of course, we just missed a signal. Maybe they were offsetting.
I don't know. I don't think there was any penalty on Hillsboro. But whatever it was, Fredericktown will take over at their own 19. They hand it off running left side. We get a flag on the play. That is number 30, Caleb Carver on the play. Carey, excuse me. It looks like we get a flag on the play. This has been a very long, slow-moving game, Eric. We've had some delays. We've had some communication issues, timeouts, some penalties. You can definitely tell this is the second game of the season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
procedure against Fredericktown.
You run into these things every once in a while. It seems like some nights take forever. It seems like other games take about 10 minutes. It's unbelievable.
And so it will be an illegal procedure penalty on Fredericktown. And they will be assessed 5 yards. That will back up a good run there by Caleb Carver.
If it were me, I'd want the roughing penalty on the punt now. Can I offset that? Can I defer the penalty?
Like, yeah, let's take. We don't want it now, but we want it on the next penalty. I don't think you can do that. That'd be nice.
We'll defer for now.
So it'll be 1st and 15 to go for Fredericktown. They're going to pass it. They hit a man in the flat. That's Carver, and he's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a very short, maybe a gain of a yard on the play, but Hillsboro all over that. We get a score update for you from Northwest High School. Seckman and Northwest are tied at 7 in the second quarter, and at the half, South Callaway leads Crystal City 20-0.
Second down and 14.
Gain of 1 on the play, 2nd and 14, 6-0 still here. Hillsboro leads it with 10:20 to go in the first half. Spangler in the shotgun. Fake the handoff. Now they hand it off to Carver, running right side. Stiff arm, gets around the edge. He'll pick up a couple yards on the play. Good. About a 5-yard run on the play. Nice run by Carver. Stuck out that left arm to be able to hold off the runner and pick up a couple extra yards.
That young man runs tough. He puts that shoulder down, uses his body well. He's got great balance.
Once again on the tackle.
Yeah, he's a bull. He's listed at 5'11", 200 pounds. So very good, strong runner there by Carver. So that gets it back to the original line of scrimmage, and that will bring up 3rd and 10 for Fredericktown from their own 19. Spangler in the shotgun. Going to roll left, looking to pass, looking left, going to throw over the middle, and it's intercepted by Hillsboro. Intercepted by Hillsboro, threw it right to him. And that is number 12, David Carter. So another interception for Hillsboro, another turnover for Fredericktown. And this is going to be even better field position for the Hawks. They will get the ball at the Fredericktown 21-yard line. Another interception. And great field position coming up for Hillsboro.
Great job by Carter dropping into his zone, reading the quarterback. Stepped right in front of that receiver, cutting across the middle of the field.
Hey, would you quit second guessing our script?
Seems like Hillsboro kind of delayed again and getting the play on the field and getting their offense out there and going.
9:31 to go in the first half. 6-0 is the lead for Hillsboro. They've got the ball in the Fredericktown territory at the 21-yard line. Johnson gonna hand it off. Right side, gives it to number 23. That's Jacob Kellum. And he'll pick up a couple on the play up the middle. Gain of about 4 on the play.
I think that's Kellum's first carry this game.
First official carry, you might be right. He had a really good one earlier that was brought back on the flag. You might be right. Because he had that really long run that went for a touchdown, but it was brought back on the penalty. So that might be his first official run.
Mm-hmm.
That bring up 2nd and 7 coming up for Hillsboro at the 19-yard line. Johnson under center. Hands it off to Walsh. Jumps over a tackle, brought down from behind. Falls forward. He'll pick up a couple. Takes it up to about the 10-yard. Good run there by Walsh. Take it up close to the, it's about the 13-yard line. A gain of about 7 on the play, and it will bring up 3rd and 2.
Gain of 6 brings up 3rd down and 2.
3rd and 2 to go for Hillsboro at the Fredericktown 13. Hillsboro breaks the huddle. 14 seconds left on the game clock. Same formation. No, they have a tight end in. Not 2 wide receivers. Johnson under center, sends a man in motion. Ball's on the ground again. It's under the pile. Who got on it first? I think Hillsboro probably got on it first. There were 2 or 3 Hillsboro Hawks there first, and they will say that. Head referee puts up his hand. That will bring up 4th down. It's the second botch snap there by Hillsboro.
Johnson never even got a hold of that ball. It shot right out as soon as it hit him in the hands.
I correct myself. That's the first botch snap. They had a botched handoff earlier. So the second fumble, but both of them recovered by Hillsboro. And it is 4th down Hawks from the 13-yard line of Fredericktown. And they will go for it here on 4th down with 7:30 remaining in the first half. Johnson under center, 2 wide receivers out, 3 men in the backfield. They send a man in motion. They flip it. They hand it off to Walsh. He goes right up the middle. He'll get close to the first down marker. We do have a flag down on the play.
That's Walsh with the carry up the middle.
Walsh took it up the middle. And it's going to be an illegal procedure penalty on Hillsboro. So that will back up Hillsboro again. I don't think it would have been a first down anyway. So they get another shot at 4th down. That'll back them up 5. Another penalty for Hillsboro. Haven't been keeping track of those, but it's been a lot so far.
They declined the penalty.
Has been declined. The result.
And so that makes sense there for Fredericktown. They will turn over the penalty. They will decline the penalty, and Fredericktown will get the ball turnover on downs as it was short.
From the Fredericktown 13.
And so Fredericktown will take over from their own 13-yard line. 7:16 to go remaining in the first half. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Oberle. We're here at Hillsboro High School. Hillsboro hosting Fredericktown. It's a 6-0 lead for the Hawks. They scored a touchdown on a 31-yard run by Chris Walsh. The extra point was no good. And that's how we've got where we are here. 1st and 10, Fredericktown. They hand it off on the right side. They kind of run in the end around. They're going to lose some yardage there. That handoff was to number 11, Chris Filey. And he's going to lose about 3 yards on the play.
That's Chris Philly on the carry.
Hillsboro defense did a great job of staying in their lanes, staying where they're supposed to be and not overcommitting and picking that up.
Loss of 3 brings up 2nd down and 3rd.
It seems like those plays either go for a lot or they go for a loss. And so that was a good job. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. Good job by Hillsboro of staying home and picking it up. Clock continues to roll. 6:40 to go here in the first half. 6-0 lead for Hillsboro. Fredericktown on offense, looking at a 2nd and 13. They hand it off up the middle. Breaks through the line. Can't miss who that handoff was to. That is to number 28, Reed Roberts. So a good strong run there by Roberts. He'll pick up about 7 on the play. That will make it 3rd and 8.
Michael Atkins.
Very nice run. That's the 2nd time he's done that, where he's got guys pulling on him, and he just keeps the momentum going forward and just keeps driving, and he always falls forward. Get those 1 or 2 extra yards every carry.
Helps to be tall, too. You fall down, that gives you 2 yards, yeah? So that will bring up 3rd and 8 coming up for Fredericktown. Spango dropping back to pass, rolling left. He hits the receiver. That's Carver, and he's going to get down. He's going to be close to the first down marker. And I think we're going to get official timeout here because they're going to have to measure this one. That was a 8-yard reception there for Carver. Oh no, there's a man down. The Hillsboro sideline is in my way. I can't see that there is a man down on the field. So there is an injured Fredericktown Black Cat down on the field. And so we get another injury timeout.
That might be Drew Carter. He's the one who just made that catch.
Yeah, it's hard to tell who it is. The Hillsboro sideline is kind of blocking our view here, so it's hard to tell who it is. But another Fredericktown Black Cat is down, and it doesn't look like he's moving too much. They're talking to him. So this
Well, it's good that he's responding. They are talking to him.
And now they're going to lift him up. Yep, that is Caleb Carver. He was hit pretty hard, and he is going to walk on up under his own power, so it looks like he is going to be all right. Just maybe got the wind knocked out of him. So that was a pretty hard hit. He was kind of caught it and turning right as he was hit, and probably knocked the wind out of him.
When he broke that initial tackle, he got spun around a little bit. That second hit came right in the back and in the ribs. Those sting a little bit.
With 5:40 to go here in the first half, 6-0 is the lead. 6-0 the lead for Hillsboro.
40 seconds remaining in the half.
4th and 5, and it looks like Fredericktown will go ahead and bring on the punt team.
Kellum goes.
Jacob Kellum is back to receive it for Hillsboro, standing at the Fredericktown 45. Back to punt it away for Fredericktown is Ryan Morgan. A long snap count here by Fredericktown. Snap is away. The kick is up. It is a high side-to-side bouncer. That will bounce out of bounds and go out just shy of the 50-yard line. They will mark it at the Fredericktown 46-yard line. And so that is well. Hillsboro will start their next drive here, coming up with 5:32 remaining in this first half. Boy, really, this has been a game without a rhythm, Eric.
It really has. Between the injury disruptions, which you hate to see in high school ball, the delays where they're taking timeouts because they can't get the plays on the field. It's a very disruptive game. You're right.
So Hillsboro will start with the ball at the Fredericktown 46. 5:32. The way they run the ball, they could keep the clock moving and maybe take this all the way down into the second half. It will be 1st and 10 Hillsboro from the Fredericktown 46. One receiver to the left, tight end to the right. They hand it off up the middle to Walsh. He carries the pile. Good run by Walsh. A pickup of about 5 on the play. Another good strong run there by Chris Walsh.
That's Chris Walsh with the carry, number 56, J.R. Robbs.
I think it was a nice tackle there, too, downfield. Number 56 for Fredericktown.
Gain of 4 on the play brings up 2nd down and 6.
And so that will bring up a 2nd and 6 for Hillsboro after the 4-yard run there by Zach Hart. Great crowd on hand here at Hillsboro High School. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Send a man in motion. They hit it off to the man in motion. That's Kellum running right side down the sideline. Gets open, gets the first down and more. He will be brought down at about the 32-yard line. A good pickup there by Jacob Kellum, and they pick up the first down and move the chains.
Plus, that'll bring out a first down.
Good thing Brock got over there on that one. He had a lot more green in front of him if he gets around Brock on that play. Come did a great job.
Brock O'Neill on the tackle for Fredericktown. So it will be 1st and 10 Hills. Fredericktown 26-yard line. I think Hillsboro's attempted maybe 3 passes on the day, mostly on the ground. They send a man in motion. And that's Hart. He takes the handoff, maybe 2 yards on the play. And he'll fall forward. About Hillsboro, or playing against Hillsboro's offense, is that you never know who's going to get the ball. You have 3 backs in the backfield, all 3 of them.
Press and pursue the ball. They just have to stay focused.
Cameron Judeman comes into the game for Hillsboro. Zach Hart goes to the bench for play. Judeman goes in motion. They hand it off to Walsh up the middle, and it's blown dead after a flag is thrown. And this is most likely another illegal procedure penalty on Hillsboro. And that's what it is on Hillsboro. So that will back up Hillsboro 5 yards, and that will make it 2nd and 13 to go. Was 2nd and 8, but 5-yard penalty will knock them back to the 30-yard line. And so that will bring up 2nd and 13 for the Hillsboro Hawks.
It really looks like Hillsboro's trying to control this ball and control this clock and finish out the half I'm sure they'd love to finish it and make it 12 or 13 to nothing at halftime. They're doing a good job keeping it on the ground and keeping the clock moving.
Johnson under center, one receiver to the left, tight end to the right. They hand it off to Kellum, breaks the tackle, breaks two, gets around another, breaks another tackle, brought down from behind finally by Fredericktown, but a nice run by Jacob Kellum.
32, Ryland Matthews.
Ryland Matthews on the tackle for Fredericktown.
Not before the first down.
But a great pickup there by Jacob Kellum, broke one, maybe two tackles, and a nice job of getting around another. Great run there by Kellum, Eric.
If Ryland doesn't make that, it'll be real interesting. You got to race to the corner and get into the end zone. That was a great.
So it will be first and 10 from the Fredericktown 16-yard line. 3-4 to go, counting. Hillsboro taking plenty of time. Johnson under center, sends the man in motion. That's Hart. They fake the handoff to him. Oh, no, they did get handed off to him. They're so good at faking that. I thought they faked that handoff. But Hart did take it around the outside, did pick up a couple, maybe 2 yards on the play.
That's Hart.
Caleb Carver on the tackle for Fredericktown.
Caleb Carver in on the tackle.
Johnson does a great job of putting the ball in the pocket, pulling it back out. That keeps your defense very, very honest when you go through the motion like that and carry out your fake.
It's hard enough for me up here. I can't imagine how hard it is. They probably have a little bit better view of it than we do up here down there on the field.
He's not making it easy on Fredericktown. I can tell you, he's doing a great job of hiding that ball and where it's going to go.
2:14 and counting in the first half. 2nd and 9. And we get a whistle right before the. Looked like Hillsboro tried to snap it quickly, but we get a timeout called by Hillsboro. So Hillsboro will call a timeout, and we will take a 30-second break on the other side of this break. So we'll be back after 30 seconds. You're listening to KJFF and KJF Web TV.
The Medicine Shop, with locations in Festus and Peebly, is committed to providing the residents of Jefferson County with much more than just prescription refills, like free local delivery, automatic refills, and reminders, diabetic and medical equipment, and the personal service that you deserve, just to name a few. That's the Medicine Shop Pharmacies, across from the post office in Festus and on Commercial Boulevard in Peebly, caring beyond prescription.
Another nice round of applause for our varsity cheerleaders down there working hard for you.
We're back here at Hillsboro High School. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Oberle. 6-0 is the lead for Fredericktown with 2:10 remaining in the first half. And Hillsboro threatening again as well. They are on the Fredericktown 15-yard line. They just called a timeout. And it is 2nd and 9, Hillsboro Hawks. And really running the ball very well. They got this. This has been a 3-minute drive. And they started it in Fredericktown territory. They've really held on to the ball and really kept the Fredericktown defense on the field for a while. Johnson under center, 2nd and 9. They send a man in motion. That's Kellum. They hand it off. No, they're going to flip it to Kellum on the right side. They're tripped up, and he'll be brought down. Fell over. He got tripped up by a player that was actually down on the ground. But a good run there by Jacob Kellum. He'll pick up about 7 on the play. They call it 6, and it's 3rd and 4.
Neal in on that tackle as well.
And the clock continues to roll with 1:46 to go.
With 1:44 remaining.
Brock O'Neill's doing a great job of getting in here and getting these tackles. He's keeping Fredericktown in the game on a lot of these tackles he's pulling off.
Yeah, he is. We've mentioned him a lot. He has definitely been their MVP on defense so far for Fredericktown. That will make it 3rd and 4 coming up for Hillsboro. One receiver to the left, tight end to the right, 3 men in the backfield. Hart goes in motion. They hand it off to Chris Walsh up the middle.
He is going to be close to the first down. And we'll see where they spot this.
Brock O'Neill.
They're going to spot it at about the 6-yard line. And that is going to be very close. And I think they're going to call official timeout and come out and measure it. But I've really been impressed by the Hillsboro offense, been able to run it pretty well.
Yeah, and on the defensive side of the ball, Brock O'Neill with another tackle. This kid is all over the place. He is doing a great job. And we were talking about the way the Fredericktown players run the ball and keep the momentum going. Kellum and Walsh both are doing a great job of churning those legs, cranking out those yards, and getting yardage after that initial contact. These kids are well coached. It's impressive watching these kids run.
Remaining in the half.
And so Hillsboro will pick up the first down, and it will be 1st and goal Hillsboro from the 6-yard line of Fredericktown with 70 seconds and counting remaining in the first half. Johnson under center, one receiver to the right. They hand it off to the man in motion. That's Kellum running right side into the end zone. Touchdown. Jacob Kellum goes in motion. They hand it off to him, goes around the right side, and he dives in there. Another touchdown for Hillsboro. They go up 12-0 with a minute remaining, and they will come on and kick the extra point.
Great job of blocking on the right side. They left Kellum with a one-on-one on the defender, and he was not going to be denied. He dove for that one. He wanted that one bad. Good for that young man.
Johnson, the hold.
It will be a
Looks like
6-yard run. Kick is down, and the kick is blocked. So the extra point is no good for Hillsboro. You almost think after they mix the first extra point, you think the way they're running the ball, you think about going for two there. But they went ahead and kicked the extra point, and it was blocked. A nice job there by Fredericktown, and Hillsboro is up 12-0.
The coach is showing a lot of faith in the kid. There are a lot of high school times that just don't even bother. They go for 2 on every single play, and there's several local schools that do that. Maybe you'll see change. He might change things up in the second half. He might go to trying to go for 2.
So Hillsboro is up 12-0 here with a minute remaining in this first quarter, first half. And this is, we figured this was going to be a pretty tight game, Eric. Two teams that know each other very well. And every time the last 3 years, when the home team has won all 3 games, Hillsboro, the home team here, with a 12-0 lead right now. But I wouldn't feel safe if I was Hillsboro.
No, I wouldn't either. I would be kind of curious as to what kind of an effect it had on the Fredericktown team with their big guy going down there in the first half and that long delay.
Kickoff is short, and it's fielded by Caleb Carver. He's running up the middle at the 45 to the 46. And so that will be a short return there by Fredericktown after the short kick. But, it looks like the way that the Fredericktown Blackcats, they set up their return. They had Carver up there short because, none of the kicks have really been long. And so they really, Carver is probably not the exact guy you want to return. He's kind of a bigger guy, but a nice job there to take it up in a good starting field position for Fredericktown with 54 seconds remaining. So they've got 54 seconds to go 54 yards. Only have to average a yard a second, right?
Well done, Tom.
Every once in a while I get a little wood on the ball. 1st and 10, Fredericktown Blackcats from their own 46. Spangler will take it himself. It was a direct snap to Carver, and he's going to get pushed backwards. He will pick up a couple, though. They'll give him forward progress. And where will they mark this one? He'll get forward progress. They will mark it just shy of the 50-yard line. So a 4-yard run there by, I believe that was Caleb Carver. They did the direct snap to him. And so it will be 2nd and 6 coming up for Fredericktown. The clock continues to roll with 24 seconds. Spangler back to pass. Flag on the play. Getting chased, brought down. It gets it off. It will be incomplete. He was hit as he was thrown. He was being brought down. We do have a flag down on the play. We'll see what the yellow flag is all about. That stops the clock with 16.7 seconds remaining in the first half.
We did have the flag on the play, but Michael Atkins was all over Spangler on that pass play. He was about to take him down. That one was close to a sack, but we'll see what the flag is.
Nice job by Spangler just to get it off and get it. I mean, it was pretty close to a receiver out there. I missed who almost was on the catch. but a good job of just getting it off.
It's hard to get a lot on a throw when you've got a young man the size of Atkins holding onto your left arm and trying to pull you down.
So the penalty will be on Fredericktown, and Hillsboro is going to go ahead and decline it, and that will bring up a 3rd and 7 for Hillsboro. So 3rd and 7 for Fredericktown from the 50-yard line with 16.7 seconds remaining. 4 receivers out, 1 running back in the backfield, Spangler in the shotgun. That is Roberts to his right. They hand it off to him, running left side, got room to run, stiff arms brought down underneath, got turned over. Good run there by Roberts. He'll take it up to about the 45-yard line, a 5-yard gain for Roberts.
Very nice run. He stepped over a defender, got to the outside.
Nicely by number 16, Zach Hardy.
And that is going to be the end of the first half. So after 1 full half, Hillsboro leads it 12-0 after 2 touchdown runs. Both extra points were missed. Fredericktown couldn't continue to keep it going. So we will take a minute break here, and we will be back on the other side of this break here and wrap up a little bit of that first half. So we'll be back here in just a minute on KJFF.
Hi, this is Melody with the Lowry Law Firm. If you're facing criminal charges or suffering from devastating injuries, call our law office in Hillsboro or Festus. Since 1997, we have offered professional, service-oriented representation in Jefferson and surrounding counties. Our goal at the Lowry Law Firm is to put your mind at ease, and most importantly, achieve solid results. We are the Lowry Law Firm in Festus and Hillsboro. Look us up on the web at the Lowry.
People suffering from alcohol and other drug abuse.
We're back here at Hillsboro High School. I'm Tommy Self. Start of the second half. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Overly. 12-0 is the lead for Hillsboro. 2 touchdown runs. First one after an interception by Jacob Kellum gave him the ball. They were unable to score on that drive, but Chris Walsh ran it in from 31 yards out. That was the first score for Hillsboro. That made it 6-0, 6:51 to go in the first quarter. In the second quarter, with a minute left in the half, it was a 6-yard run by Jacob Kellum, and that extra point there was no good. It was blocked by Fredericktown, and it is 12. That's how we got to where we are right now. 12-0 is the lead, and we've just got about a minute and a half left in halftime. But Eric, what needs to happen here in this second half for both teams?
On Fredericktown's side of the ball, it looks like they'll make some adjustments here at halftime to try to slow down this offense that they're running with the misdirection. Either go to straight assignments or something like that, try to take away the middle of the field. And, you know, Shannon Henson has been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure he'll make some changes there to try to take away this running game that Hillsboro has going right now. A little more penetration. It may have hurt him quite a bit when Austin Stevens went down because he is one of their interior linemen. And on Hillsboro's side of the ball, he's probably just going to try to get his plays going a little better because once they get a rhythm going, Hillsboro's been fairly impressive with the running game. And on Fredericktown's side of the ball, they haven't really had a whole lot to hang their hat on offensively. He'll have to make some changes there, too, to try to get a little rhythm going for his offense, too, and try to keep them on the field and keep his defense off the field and give them a rest for a little while.
Yeah, the Fredericktown defense has been on the field for a while, and it's been a good job by Hillsboro to really keep their offense off the field. Go ahead and run down some of the stats that you have there. I know they're unofficial, but just give us what you have.
I've got Walsh at 75 to 78 yards rushing, and he did have the 31-yard touchdown run. We have Kellum. He's at about 42 or 44 yards rushing. He had the 6-yard touchdown run. We've had we did have one 15-yard pass play by Hillsboro to Cole. Johnson, he's had a couple of runs. He hasn't been real effective on a couple of the runs, but his third run, he picked up 15, which very nice job on that. Spangler has had 2 completed passes on Fredericktown's side of the ball. But running, they've only picked up maybe 25 yards total on the ground. Appears that we have some sort of a delay in what we're doing. The officials are calling them out onto the field. A couple more stats. We have had 2 interceptions, too. And Hillsboro's picked off 2 of the passes. And it looks like we have the teams coming out on the field now, and the refs are ready to go. Looks like Carver's been Fredericktown's best carrier tonight. It looks like he may have about 15 to 20 yards rushing. Roberts has picked up about 12. And the one long pass, that's about constitutes all of Fredericktown's offense for tonight.
And so Hillsboro won the toss. They chose to defer to start off that first half. And so they will get the ball here to start the second half. They will be moving from our left to right. And so Fredericktown will place it at the 40, and they are getting set to kick it away. They will boot it away. It's a little short kick. It looks like it's going to roll out of bounds. No, it's going to stay in bounds. They're going to pick it up. Now it's loose, and Fredericktown jumps on it, and Fredericktown has the ball inside the 15-yard line after the kickoff could not be fielded there by Fredericktown by Hillsboro, and Fredericktown will get the ball. What a turn of events there.
Yes, it is. I think that was Chris Harwood on that recovery. A little bit of a mental error by Hillsboro not to pick that ball up right away. It's live as soon as it hits that 10-yard mark. Great hustle by Harwood to get down there and jump on that ball and give Fredericktown maybe the break they needed.
Well, the kick was right down the far sideline, and it almost looked like it was going to roll out of bounds. It didn't, and so Hillsboro couldn't handle it. Fredericktown was all the way down there, jumped on it, and they will get the ball at the Hillsboro 14 to start it off. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. That's to Reed Roberts. He's going to be pushed backwards. He'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage and he'll get the forward progress, but he's not going to get much.
Michael Atkins in on that tackle.
And so no gain on the play, but that will bring up 2nd and 10.
Slight loss on the play brings up a 2nd down and 11.
It's important for Fredericktown if they want to get something, and you've got to capitalize on these turnovers. You've got to make the other team pay when they make a mistake like that, and you got to put points on the board.
2nd and 10 for Fredericktown from the Hillsboro 15. Spangler, the quarterback, backward looking, talking to one of his running backs, sends a man in motion. They hand it off up the middle to Roberts, cuts to the right, off right tackle, brought down from behind, but he'll be close to the first down. That's about an 8-yard run there by Reed Roberts up the middle.
Great job moving through traffic there. He just popped his way through a few tacklers and a few tight spaces. Did a really good job of picking up about 8.
Brings up a 3rd down and 2.
So that'll be 3rd and 2 from the Hillsboro 6-yard line. Remember, this all came after Hillsboro could not pick up the kickoff deep in their own territory. So Fredericktown started the drive at the Hillsboro 15-yard line. Spangler in the shotgun, sends a man in motion, picks it up, hands it off to Roberts, running left tackle, and he is just gain tackled and met by a swarm of Hawks.
ball popped loose. I think they're going to rule it that his forward progress had stopped, so no fumble on the play. And so really no gain there for Reed Roberts.
Reed Roberts on the carry.
Interesting, 4th down again. If I'm not mistaken, I think this will be the 3rd time Fredericktown's been faced with a 4th down. They've gone for it once, twice.
Twice.
And they're going for it again.
3 receivers out, 2 running backs in the backfield. Offset eye. Spangler rolling to his right, looking to throw it. Got to get rid of it into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown caught by number 34, Chris Harwood. In the back of the end zone, Spangler found him. And Fredericktown is on the board with 9:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter after the basically a turnover on the kickoff.
For Fredericktown, that's what you have to do on those turnovers. You have to make the other team pay. That was a great job by Spangler finding Harwood in the back of the end zone. He was way back there, buried behind a lot of players. Great vision by Spangler.
And so Spangler to Harwood for the touchdown. So that will make it 12-6, and it looks like Frederick will come on and they will attempt the extra point. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And so Fredericktown gets on the board, they get the touchdown, and that will make it 12-7. Hillsboro on top of Fredericktown, but Fredericktown after botched kickoff, what a turn of events there. Festus, want to get a score update here for you. Festus leads Sullivan 35-7, but what a turn of events there, and what a good job. That's huge for Fredericktown. You know, they got the turnover there by Hillsboro, and they're able to capitalize on it.
After the injury in the first half, they did seem to take a little bit of the spark out of their game. Maybe this will get them up, get them excited, and we'll have a very tight ball game from here on out, because the first half was primarily Hillsboro. It was all about the Hawks.
So Fredericktown gets on the board, and remember, it's important to note that it's a 12-7 game. Hillsboro has missed both extra points. So with a touchdown, even if a missed field goal or missed extra point would give Fredericktown the lead. And so Jacob Kellum and Zach Hart will be back to receive the kickoff for Hillsboro. The kicker for Fredericktown is Tyler Helm. He is getting ready to boot it away. Hart and Kellum back deep to receive for Hillsboro. 9:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. 12-7 is the lead for Hillsboro after the Fredericktown touchdown. The kick is short, and it looks like Kellum will come up and make the catch at the 25-yard line up the left side. And he won't get much, maybe a return of about 5 yards on the play. He'll take it up to the 32-yard line of Hillsboro, and that's where the Hawks will start their first drive of the second half.
Fredericktown came out, kicked it to the exact same spot they did to open a half. It worked once. Why not try it again?
From the 33-yard line.
And so Hillsboro will start it at the 33, their own 33, 1st and 10.
Looks like Hillsboro is once again taking their time to get that first play on the field. And they're already down to 16 on the play clock.
Yeah, down to 10 and running. As soon as they get out there, they will snap it, so they will get it off in time, most likely. Johnson under center. 2 receivers to the right, 3 running backs in the backfield. 1st and 10, they hand it off up the middle. That's Walsh, and he won't get much. And he'll pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. So a 2-yard gain there by Chris Walsh. That'll make it 2nd and 8 from the 35.
Gain of about 2
It
yards.
looks like number 56 has taken the place of Austin. And number 56 is J.R. Robbs for Fredericktown's defensive line.
2nd and 8 for Hillsboro. From their own 35, 12-7, they lead it. Handoff is to Kellum, running right side around the end, brought down from behind. He'll pick up about 3 on the play. Nice run there by Jacob Kellum. You know, you get running side to side. He actually ran further side to side than he did forward. But he goes in motion. That's good timing by Hillsboro. So pickup of about 4 on the play, and that will make it 3rd down and 3. Ball at the halfway between the 39 and 40-yard line.
Dalton King with another tackle. That's 2 already in this half for him.
It would be 3rd down and 3 to go for Hillsboro. 1 receiver to the left, tight end to the right. Send a man in motion. It's Walsh up the middle. He pushes forward for a first down. Good strong run by Chris Walsh. He dragged a couple tacklers. That's a good, that's about an 8-yard run for Walsh, and he picks up the first down.
Excellent job. Right up the middle again for Walsh. That's impressive, and taking that pack with him.
He takes it into Fredericktown territory at the Black Cat 49. Clock continues to roll. 8:16 to go and counting. 12-7 the lead for Hillsboro. 1st and 10 Hawks from the Black Cat 49. 1 receiver to the left, tight end to the right. Same formation in the backfield. Handed off to Walsh, running left tackle. No, Johnson's going to keep it. He'll take it himself, running the option, and he'll pick up about 7 yards on the play. Good job there by Johnson to fake the handoff to Walsh. He was running the option with Zach Hart, but decided to take it himself, and he picks up about 8 yards on the play.
The way he handles that ball and he puts it into the guy's belly and takes it back out, that's why the option works so well. He did a great read on the defensive end on that play and took it up for 9. Good job by Johnson.
To the 45-yard line of Fredericktown, where it will be 2nd and 1. 7:26 and counting in this 3rd quarter. Johnson under center, man in motion is Kellum. He's dropping back to pass, gonna throw it deep. Got a man open, overthrew him. He had Brett Cole wide open, got behind the defensive backs, but overthrew him by about a yard.
He was wide open. He got behind the defense on that one. That was 6 if he could put that ball in his hands for sure.
That's about only the 3rd or the 2nd or 3rd pass attempted by Hillsboro today.
That would be their 3rd.
Just the 3rd pass
fourth
attempt.
pass attempt, sorry.
3rd or 4th, 3rd and a half. So that brings up 3rd down here and 2 yards to go for Hillsboro from the Fredericktown 45. Johnson under center. Man in motion is Kellum. They hand it off to Walsh up the middle. He'll pick up a first down and maybe an extra yard. Good strong run there by Walsh. You know, those runs up the middle, they don't get them a ton of yards, but it seems like they always get them yards. 2 or 3, and that's how they've been able to keep the sticks moving and keep the clock rolling.
From a coaching standpoint, if I could send Walsh up the middle and get 4 to 5 yards every carry, I'll take that all night long. Hopefully Walsh can just survive having 5 guys hanging on him because they're trying to bring him down. They can't do it with one guy. Walsh is very strong on the ball today.
Same formation again for Hillsboro. First down. They hand it off to Walsh. It seems that's Kellum. Came in motion on the end around, and he'll pick up about 7 yards. Not quite that many. Maybe 5 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down. And this has been the Hillsboro offense. Very slow, but just 4 yards here, 5 yards here. Haven't had a lot of big plays, but just kind of lulling the Fredericktown to sleep. That brings up 2nd and 5. 6:28 to go. Johnson under center, 2 receivers to the left, tight end to the right. 2 men in the backfield. Kellum goes in motion. They hand it off up the middle to Walsh. He's met immediately, and I don't think he's going to get any yards on that play. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. He was hit immediately as soon as he got the ball in his gut.
Carey, Nathan Blaine in on the tackle.
That was a good job by 71 of Fredericktown. Nathan Blaine of getting through there and getting that initial contact behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe a half a yard on the play that keeps it 3rd and 5, Hillsboro. Leading 12-7 with 5:47 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. So far, it's been a much quicker 3rd quarter here than any of the first 2. Hart goes in motion. They hand it off to Hart on the end around, trying to get to the sideline, loses the football. Flag on the play. They think the ball rolled out of bounds. Zach Hart was on the carry. He may pick up a couple. There is a flag on the play. That's on the outside. That's kind of in the area of holding. So we will see what the call is from the zebra in the white hat.
Indication is a holding call against Hillsboro.
Even without the holding call, Fredericktown did a great job of getting 2 or 3 guys to the outside, stringing that play out, and not giving them any creases to get through.
Referees are still discussing it. So now the head referee, it looks like Hillsboro is backing up and Fredericktown is moving forward. It will be a hold on Hillsboro. That is a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That will back them up, Hillsboro, to the Fredericktown 47-yard line. Get a score update in the third quarter. Festus leads Sullivan 35-7, and Rockwood Summit leads Fox 21-7. 3rd and 15 coming up here for Hillsboro from the Fredericktown 47. Need to get to the 32-yard line of Fredericktown. Johnson's going to throw it, and that's to nobody. And a little miscommunication. That was midway between Jacob Kellum and Brett Cole, but neither one of them in the direction. It must have been a miscommunication on the play.
Either a miscommunication, the way the ball came out, that ball may have slipped out of his hand on that one. It looked very odd. I'm sure the coach will ask him what happened there.
And so, Hillsboro will bring out the punt team. Sam Mock will come out to boot it away. And Fredericktown looks like they're going to come after this punt. They don't have anybody back to receive the punt. And now we get movement on the line and the flags on the play. And that will probably be a legal procedure on Hillsboro, unless one of the Fredericktown players caused them to jump or maybe came across and touched him.
It is interesting to see him bring them all out. I guess they're going, well, they've changed up now. They did send somebody back to receive the punt.
So that will back up Hillsboro 5 yards, a legal procedure penalty on them. And now they're going to send Chris Harwood of Fredericktown. He is going to go back to receive the punt coming up from Sam Hawk, and that'll be 4th and 20. Mock standing at his own 35. Harwood standing at his own 20. The snap is up. The kick is away. It's a great kick. Harwood will let it bounce once, pick it up. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, up the middle, gets through a hole. Nice return there by Harwood, brought down. Now we get a late flag thrown behind the play after everything was over. We get a late flag thrown after a good return there by Chris Harwood. And I think this is going to be a personal foul on somebody.
We had a personal foul on the first punt of the game also. Young man did a great job of breaking some arm tackles. They did enough to slow him down so that Alex Warren could get in there and finally bring him down on the play.
It will be a personal foul on Fredericktown, so that's going to back them up 15 yards. And, you know, that's just something you really don't need. You get a good return. Okay return. You're in okay field position, but that's going to back you up even more. And now you're in the shadow of your own goalpost. That's really going to back them up and put them in a bad field position here.
Hillsboro did the exact same thing in the first half with the personal foul on the punt, too. They're going to start on about the 10-yard line now.
And so that's where Fredericktown will start this drive. 4:56 remaining in the third quarter. 12-7 is the lead for Hillsboro on top of the Fredericktown Blackcats. Fredericktown has a ways to go to get to tie this game or take the lead. Ball at their own 11. They hand it off up the middle. That is to Carver, I believe. Gets through a big hole. Excuse me, that was Reed Roberts, on the carry. And a big carry for Reed Roberts. Takes it from his 11 to the 32-yard line. Gain of 21 on the play. And a big pickup there for Fredericktown.
I guess if Fredericktown figured Hillsboro can run it up the middle, so can we. Nice job by that young man.
That will move the chains. 1st and 10 for Fredericktown from the 33, their own 33. Spangler in the shotgun, sends a man in motion. Fake the handoff to him. They hand it off to Roberts on the right tackle. Still fighting. He'll get a couple. He was hit immediately. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, but was able to break through. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd and 8. Good strong run there by Roberts.
Hillsboro with a much better job there on the interior defense of standing their ground and not letting him make any gains up that middle of the field again.
Takes it to the 35-yard line of Fredericktown. 2nd and 8. Shotgun again for Spangler. Man in motion. They hand it off up the middle to Roberts. This time he's brought down in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard or 2 on this carry. Hawks got into the backfield.
12 on the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like David Carter was back there on that one. I think that's Carter's first, or that's his first tackle of the second half. He had 2 or 3 in the first half also. David Carter's getting in on the action real well for Hillsboro defensively.
So that brings up keeps it 3rd and 8. Spangler rolling to his left, gonna pass it, looking for a man downfield, chasing away the receivers. Hits a man that was wide open, was Harwood, but he dropped it. Chris Harwood was wide open in the middle of field, pass right in his hands, but he just dropped it, hands on his head. He can't believe it. That would have been a first down.
Yeah, absolutely would have been a first down by about 4 yards. Chris is doing the smart thing here, though. Just get back in the lineup and don't look at the sideline.
Yeah, that's always hard to go back to the huddle after you get a gift from your quarterback, and so that will bring on the punt team for Fredericktown. So the punt team on for Fredericktown. Jacob Kellum back to receive the punt for Hillsboro. Snap is back. The punt is away. A low end over end. Bounces to the left. A Fredericktown bounce. They quickly jump on it. Does Reed Roberts. And they will down it at the Hillsboro 34-yard line, where Hillsboro will take over after the punt.
The second half has had a much better rhythm and a much better flow to it by both teams. A lot less penalties. Hillsboro seems to be getting their plays off. Fredericktown's found a little bit of a rhythm. This third quarter has been very, very pleasant quarter. It's been a good quarter to watch. The fans have enjoyed it. And at 12-7, Fredericktown made a game of it. They capitalized on that fumble on the opening kickoff and did a phenomenal job of putting the points on the board, which is very, very important for you to do when you get that turnover. They came back on the next kickoff, and they tried to drop it in the exact same spot and give it, lightning strikes twice, we'll give it a shot. It worked once, we'll do it again.
We will take a quick timeout. We will take a 30-second break because we will be back on the other side of this. You're listening to Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
The law office of Bob Kister Trial Lawyer LLC in Herculaneum will work hard for you. With 30 years of experience in personal injury and workers' compensation, including auto, motorcycle, truck accidents, premises liability, medical malpractice, defective product injury claims, and Social Security disability claims, the law office of Bob Kister is dedicated and committed to the success of your case. When you need an experienced attorney and someone who will work hard for you, call trial attorney Bob Kister on McNutt Road in Herculaneum, 636-931-4459.
Forget everything you thought you knew about buying tires and hurry in and see the gang at Plaza Tire in Festus. Why? Because Plaza Tire customers enjoy Plaza Tire's lowest price pledge. Plaza Tire service will match or beat any competitor's total tire purchase on any comparable tire. Plus tires anytime with hundreds of tires in stock. No appointment necessary on tire installations. That's Plaza Tire, the quick change artist located at 301 Festus Center Drive in Festus. KJFF Festus, Crystal City.
Did get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll spot it. They'll give him maybe a yard on the play. They'll give him forward progress. But good, strong gang tackle there by Fredericktown.
That's one of the few times that I've actually seen Walsh get knocked backwards on a run. Fredericktown did a great job there. I believe that was Dalton King on the tackle. He did a great job of getting through there and pushing him backwards this time.
So no gain on the play for Hillsboro. 2nd and 10 from the 34. 23 seconds. I'm looking at the wrong 2.5 minutes remaining. Kellum around the right side. Stiff arm cuts up the middle. Nice run there by Jacob Kellum. Made the stiff arm, then made the cutback. He picked up about 6 yards on the way. That was a great run by Kellum.
That was phenomenal. He did a great job on that. Looks like Caleb Carver may have finally brought him down on that one. He's a nice-looking young runner. He does a great job. Good vision.
2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. 12-7 is the lead for Hillsboro. A 6-yard pickup by the Hawks. And now we get a whistle. The Zebras are waving their arms around. They're talking to the Fredericktown defense. They're talking to the players on the field. Not sure what this is all about. Now the head referee waves his arm, tells to get the clock going. Now Johnson's going to come over to the sideline to get the play. And there is 15 seconds left on the game clock. The Hawks need to hurry up here. 4 yards to go, 3rd and 4 from the 40, with 1:40 remaining in the quarter. Johnson under center, drops back, rolling to his left, looking to throw it to the left, and he had a man, threw it over his head. And it looks like the intended receiver is slow to get up. That was Chris Walsh on the intended receiver, but he threw it just over his head, so that'll bring up 4th down, and Hillsboro will come on to punt.
Nathan Blaine of Fredericktown did a great job of getting back there on Johnson, making life very difficult for him, so he really couldn't plant and throw the way he wanted to.
Chris Harwood back to receive the punt for Fredericktown. Sam Mock back to boot it away for Hillsboro. Good hard snap count, and I think they got the whole Fredericktown line to jump, and that could be a 1st down unless Hillsboro jumped as well.
Flags on the field.
Flags on the field. And I think they got him to jump, and they're going to get a 1st down on this, does Hillsboro. Wait to see the call. Dead ball foul. Yeah. The referee was signaling illegal procedure on Hillsboro, and then he realized his mistake. He called offsides on Fredericktown. I don't think I've ever, he hung and said like, oh, shoot, I got it wrong. So it's an offsides penalty on Fredericktown, and Hillsboro gets them to jump, and they get the first down. What a great job there by Hillsboro. You could tell that's what they were trying to do.
I don't know who was doing the count on that. He did a phenomenal job because I think he got 7 guys to jump.
Yeah, he did. He got the whole line to jump. So 1st and 10 Hillsboro from their own 44. Throw the quick pass to the left side. That's Kellum, and he's going to lose a yard. They threw the quick out into the flat to Kellum, but he is brought down maybe a loss of 2.5 on the play. That didn't quite work, Eric.
That was a dangerous play because that was actually a backwards pass. That ball comes out, he drops it. That's a live ball.
And, you look at the way they were playing. That's probably not the play you want to make because they had pretty tight coverage, and so there was really no way for Kellum to get away from the receiver. If he was giving him a bigger cushion, I can understand that, but they're playing pretty tight coverage. There was no way for Kellum to get away.
Yeah, the coaches from Hillsboro must have seen something there that we didn't.
So 2nd and 12 coming up for Hillsboro with the clock running from the 43. They flip it to Kellum on the right side, cuts to the right, and is brought down. Just a quick little ankle tackle. The tackle tripped up by Reed Roberts on the tackle. Just was able to trip him up. But he will get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
28 seconds remaining.
26 seconds and counting in the quarter.
Excellent job by Caleb Carver coming up and making that open field tackle. Got him just enough of his ankle to bring it down. Great job, athletic play.
So that will make it 3rd and 10. And I think they're just going to let this one run out. So Hillsboro is going to let the clock run out here for the 3rd quarter, and that is going to do it after 3 quarters. 12-7 is the lead for Hillsboro. We go to the 4th and final quarter. The Hawks up by 6. Fredericktown trying to just get back in it. This is Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Hi, this is David McFarland. At McFarland Travel, we are a full-service travel agency specializing in one-on-one service. We discuss your needs and desires, do our research, and provide you with options, all within parameters that you have set. When you book online, you do all the work and then give your hard-earned money to someone you will never meet and without fully knowing what your options are. Shop locally and book safely with McFarland Travel at 206 Main Street in Festus, or call us at 937-5679 or toll-free 888-440-5679.
Since 1974, Comtree has helped people suffering from alcohol and other drug abuse. Comtree remains committed to its mission to be an innovative, effective, and responsive community mental health center for Jefferson County. At Comtree, they believe in the importance of addressing issues of concern through direct patient care prevention and educational efforts. Professional care is available to you at Comtree with adult and adolescent programs, inpatient care, and 3 outpatient and aftercare locations. Call 931-2700.
Here at Hillsboro High School. I'm Tommy Self alongside Eric Overly. You're listening to KJFF. The start of the 4th quarter. The Hillsboro Hawks lead at 12-7 on top of the Fredericktown Black Cats. Hawks have the ball at 3rd and 10 from their own 45-yard line. They'll switch fields. Hillsboro now moving from our right to left. 3rd and 10. 2 receivers out, 1 to the left, 1 to the right for Hillsboro. They send a man in motion. That's Hart. Johnson is going to take it himself, running left side. He's going backwards. Now he cuts it up the field. He'll pick up a good 5 yards. He was hit after about 2 yards, but was able to pick up a couple more after the contact. Good 5-yard run there by Johnson. When that first started, you thought there's not going to be nothing on this play.
Kept it moving forward, and I'll give you one guess who was in on the tackle. Number 5, Brock O'Neill again. There he is.
And so that will bring up 4th down, and Hillsboro will have to bring out the punt team. Chris Harwood back to receive the punt for Fredericktown, and Sam Mock to boot it away for Hillsboro. Ball right at the 50-yard line. Snap is back. The kick is away, a high end over end. They're backing up. Harwood will field it at his own 10, running to the left side. And he's going to be brought down. Good solo tackle. Look at that tackle by Joe Melton. He was all over him, just chased him down and brought him down. What a tackle.
Great hustle. There's that open field play again, tracked him down, got him to the outside. No questions about that one.
It's like somebody said, I'll give you $10 if you tackle him by yourself. And he went out and did it. Man, he was just chasing him down.
You're exactly right. It's like when a kid plays soccer, $5 for a goal. Grandpa's up here, Dad's up here going, all right, $5 for every tackle that you make.
Yeah. I think that is his first tackle, so that's probably not the bet. But so Fredericktown will get the ball. 11:06 remaining in the game at their own 19-yard line, 1st and 10. A good punt there as well by Sam Mock, was able to back Harwood up a couple of yards. So Fredericktown will start at their own 19. Snap is back. Handoff is up the middle. That is to Carver. He's pushing the pile a little bit. And he'll pick up about 4 yards on the play.
We'll give half of the Hillsboro defense credit for a tackle on that one.
That's basically what it was. I mean, that was just a...
That's David Carter in on the tackle.
And so with 10:40 remaining in the game, the clock continues to roll. But both teams have been keeping the ball on the ground. The second half been moving a lot quicker than that first half was. 2nd and 7 coming up. Handoff up the middle to Roberts. Breaks through the line. Breaks through a tackle to the 40. He's got nobody in front of him. They got to chase him down. At to the 25, the 20, the 10. He will score from the 23-yard line. A big run by Reed Roberts, and that will give the Fredericktown Black Cats the lead. Look around, no flags on the play. A 77-yard run for Reed Roberts, and the Black Cats take the lead. Wow.
He did a great job of running through 2 arm tackles, and then it was off to the races. Tonight he showed he was the fastest man. He outran the pursuit. Walsh was the only one that had a shot at him, and he couldn't even track him down on this one. Great job by Roberts on that run, by picking him up and putting him down.
And so Fredericktown will come on to attempt the extra point. This would make it a 2-point ball game. So remember, Hillsboro has 2 touchdowns. They missed both extra points. One of them was missed left. One of them was blocked. Next one is on. It was almost blocked by Hillsboro. The kick is up, and it is good. So the Fredericktown Black Cats take a 2-point lead after the extra point is good. We will take a minute break. We'll be back on the other side of this after Fredericktown takes the lead. You're listening to Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Whether you're looking for a windshield wiper motor or a disc brake rotor, you'll find it, along with 800,000 other top-quality automotive products at B&A CarQuest in Hillsboro. From passenger car and light truck, import or domestic, heavy-duty, fleet and farm, marine, ATV, industrial, and more, CarQuest supplies top-quality parts that you can depend on. Hi, I'm Dan Kennedy, owner of B&A. Just like it sounds, centrally located between highways B and A. We take pride in our hometown service, along with a selection that is second to none. Stop in the store or give us a call at 636-794-0900. That's 636-794-0900. Or shop 24/7 at CarQuest.com. We're always there to serve you. B&A CarQuest, located next to the school in Hillsboro. Great people, great products, and great prices. That's CarQuest.
14-12 is the lead for Fredericktown. 10:20 to go, and Fredericktown is on top after trailing this whole game. The kickoff is away, and it's short, and it will be fielded. And I think they're going to call a fair. It looked like they might get you could get a penalty called here. It looked like the player called for the fair catch for Hillsboro. That's David Carter on the return.
it looked like he put his hand up to call fair catch, and then he took off running. Normally you get a penalty called for that, but I guess they're going to say that he never really called the fair catch, I guess.
He got the arm up above the head. Usually the rule is once that arm goes above the head, it counts for a fair catch. The referees did a good job there of immediately blowing it dead, so there's no more contact. Nothing else can happen on that play.
And so the Hillsboro drive will start at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Down by 2, trailing for the first time in this game, 10:18 to go. Johnson under center, one receiver to the left, one to the right, 3 men in the backfield. Send a man in motion, that's Kellum. They hand it off to Walsh up the middle, gets a hole. Picks up 11 on the play. Another good run by Chris Walsh. Boy, he is just owned up the middle. It's like you almost wonder if Fredericktown is so worried about the outside that that Hillsboro really been excelling up the middle.
It could be that it could be this misdirection they're running too, where they're trying to close down those gaps, or they're maybe playing a little wider to respect those spaces, and it's giving Walsh that room through the middle.
So 1st and 10 Hillsboro. They move the chains up to their own 47. Send a man in motion. That's Kellum. They hand it off to him, running around the end. He's going to be brought down behind. And I think he's going to get hit twice. He was brought down, and as he was going down, he was hit again. So he's going to lose maybe 2 yards on the play. A loss of 2 for Jacob Kellum, and it's 2nd and 12.
Good to see him get up. He got hit hard on that play.
So ball at the Hillsboro 45. 9:30 remaining in the game and counting. 14-12 the lead for the Hillsboro Hawks. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Johnson under center. Man in motion. Johnson dropping back to pass, looking over the middle, and they're going to hit Jacob Kellum down the middle. 10-5 touchdown. Jacob Kellum. The catch made by Kellum off the pass by Jarrett Johnson, and Hillsboro, just like that, Eric, is back on top.
That was a beautiful throw. Kellum snuck around the outside and came back to the middle of the field. They missed him. Johnson did a great job of finding him, hit him right in the hands, and then Kellum took care of it from there.
Johnson to Kellum for the touchdown. With 9:07 remaining, a 54-yard catch and run by Jacob Kellum, and it looks like Hillsboro will go for 2 here. They're up by 4 right now. 18-14 is the lead here for Hillsboro. After immediately answering, they will go for 2. What do you think? Walsh up the middle?
I tried.
Walsh up the middle. Into the end zone, touchdown.
Yes, there
touchdown,
it is.
but not a touchdown, but the 2-point conversion is good. So that 2-point conversion gives Hillsboro the lead back, 18-14, with very quick. Fredericktown. They had the lead there for about a minute and 13 seconds on the game clock. That didn't last long for Fredericktown.
No, it didn't. That was an absolutely excellent play. Walsh just snuck around the outside, came right back down the middle of the field. Fredericktown missed him out there. Johnson, excellent vision because he's looking over about 16 guys to hit Kellum on that throw and put it right on his hands. Beautiful throw by Johnson.
Well, Jacob Kellum has had a great game. He has an interception. He also has 2 touchdowns, one via the run and one by the catch. The Hillsboro cheerleaders are doing the push-ups here. They're not doing them very well. They've got to do 20. They've got to do 20 push-ups.
I think they're cutting them some slack. I think they skipped number 13 and number 19 while they were counting for them.
So the kickoff coming up for Hillsboro. And it is away. Low liner. And it's going to be fielded by the up man. That's Harwood to the 20, up the middle to the 25. Spins out of a tackle at the 25, continues to go at the 30, up to the 50. How is he still running? I couldn't even tell where he was, but he is still going. Chris Harwood, a huge return, takes it up to the 50-yard line.
That spin coming out of the tackle got him an extra 15 yards. Excellent, young man.
So a great return by Chris Harwood. He answers after the touchdown and the 2-point conversion by Hillsboro. And they have got great starting position, field position here at the 50-yard line with 8:53 remaining. A 6-point lead for Hillsboro. Spangler in the shotgun. He'll hand it off. That is Carver on the left side. And he'll pick up a couple. He's pushed out of bounds. And he'll pick up maybe one on the play.
The initial contact did a really good job of stringing that out so that the second man can come in and actually make that. Slow him down just enough so that second guy can string him out so the second guy can get there and use the sideline to your advantage as your 12th man.
No gain on the play for Caleb Carver. And it's 2nd and 10 again for Fredericktown. Got out of bounds, so that stopped the clock at 8:48. A 6-point lead for Hillsboro. Spangler in the shotgun. Hands it off up the middle. That's Robert. He's hit immediately, and he'll be pushed back. They'll blow it dead. And look at this Hillsboro run defense. He may have lost a yard on the play, but Hillsboro is swarming the run here.
Right up the middle. Hillsboro did a great job of packing the middle in on him right there.
No gain on the play, and it's 3rd and 10. 2 runs in a row, no gain on either play. And you wonder if Fredericktown's going to pull out the pass here. Spangler in the shotgun, dropping back, looking right, gonna throw it. He's got a man open. That was Harwood, through his hands, incomplete. He wanted a flag. That'll bring up 4th down. Harwood cut across the middle of the field. He had it right through his hands, but couldn't corral it, and that brings up 4th down.
Sam Mott giving him a little shot after that, but once he tipped that ball, it's pretty much fair game as long as you don't get unsportsmanlike about it. That was a good job. He had good coverage on that. It wouldn't have been a 1st down either way.
So a 1-2-3 kick goes Fredericktown, and Jacob Kellum back to receive the punt for Hillsboro after the Fredericktown 3 and out. The punt is away, very high, kind of short, no chance of return for Kellum. It will bounce at the 26-yard line. It will be down by Fredericktown right there, and that's Will Hillsboro will turn it over. We'll take a quick timeout after this change of possession. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. You're listening to KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Roberts, Wooten, and Zimmer of Hillsboro is your regional law firm, offering help with many diverse areas of the law. Roberts, Wooten, and Zimmer is a full-service law firm and practice with expert, experienced lawyers. When legal representation is a must, you need a law firm that you can trust. So turn to the professionals at Roberts, Wooten, and Zimmer on Highway 21 in Hillsboro. Call 636-797-2693. For more information, log on to robertswootenzimmer.com.
Hillsboro takes over at their own 27-yard line. 1st and 10, 7:54 remaining in the game. A 20-14 lead for the Hillsboro Hawks. One receiver out left, one to the right, 3 men in the backfield. Johnson under center. Send a man in motion, goes Kellum, and they're going to get a flag on the play. That's going to be illegal motion. Illegal procedure there. I think there was another player that moved there for Hillsboro, so that would be a legal procedure penalty. That will back them up 5 yards.
Hillsboro's been having a little difficulty with these illegal procedure and these illegal motion and illegal shift penalties. Maybe that is the youth. Maybe they're just not used to this offense yet. I'm sure they'll improve upon that as the year goes on. You just don't want to see too many of those because it has hurt them a couple of times on their drives. It's taken away their momentum.
So the 5-yard penalty on the play backs them up to their own 22-yard line where it will be 1st and 15. 7:48 remaining in the Glen. The clock is stopped there. 1st and 15. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Same formation here. Johnson under center. 3 men in the backfield. Zach Hart goes in motion. Johnson going to kick it himself. Flips it to Hart on the outside. Stiff arms a guy. Breaks him. And he's going to get pushed out of bounds. A good run there by Zach Hart on the option play between him and Johnson. He'll pick up a couple of yards on the play. Hard to tell where they spot this ball. It's on the Hillsboro sideline. Pushed him out of bounds, so it's hard to tell at what yard line they're standing here. There's a flag down on the play.
There was a face mask, so a no gain is going to turn into a plus yardage for Hillsboro real quickly.
Yeah, they're talking to to Hillsboro, and so they're going to walk this off. Just a 5-yard face mask, so it wasn't a grab and pull face mask. It was just a 5-yard minor penalty for Fredericktown. Wasn't a gain of much by Zach Hart. So after the 5-yard penalty, that will make it. It will be 1st and 5. So they will take the penalty and make it 1st and 5 Hillsboro from the their own 33. 7:33 remaining in the game. Kellum goes in motion. They hand it off up the middle to Walsh. Breaks through. And he'll pick up a first down. Another big gain for Chris Walsh. A 7-yard pickup takes it up to the 40. And another run up the middle for Chris Walsh.
This young man is impressive. They just keep going back to that. I'm kind of curious. I guess the spreads are a little wide. That middle is there for Chris because he breaks the initial tackle and picked up 4 or 5 again.
We will get an official timeout down on the field for a water break. We will take a minute break here as well. 12-6 is the lead for Hillsboro, 7:21 remaining. You're listening to Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Hi, this is Melody with the Lowry Law Firm. If you're facing criminal charges or suffering from devastating injuries, call our law office in Hillsboro or Festus. Since 1997, we have offered professional, service-oriented representation in Jefferson and surrounding counties. Our goal at the Lowry Law Firm is to put your mind at ease, and most importantly, achieve solid results. We are the Lowry Law Firm in Festus and Hillsboro. Look us up on the web at thelowrylawfirm.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The doctor is in. Board-certified family practice physician Dr. Leah Silver is now a part of Mercy Clinic. As part of the Mercy Clinic, Dr. Silver belongs to a healthcare team that is thousands strong, linking you to experts everywhere you find Mercy. It is coordinated, responsive care that is all about you. For information or to schedule an appointment with Dr. Silver, call 636-933-2900. Learn more about Mercy or find a Mercy Clinic physician at www.mercy.net.
First down and 10 to go for Hillsboro after another good run by Chris Walsh. 7:20 run remaining in the game. Hillsboro ball at their own 40-yard line. First and 10. Man in motion is Hart. Johnson dropping back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got a man open. He hits him. That's number 32, Drew Liston. He's going to take it in for the touchdown. No flags on the play. That is a 60-yard pitch and catch from Johnson to Liston. And that adds to the Hillsboro lead up 26-14. And that makes it a 2-possession game, Eric.
That is 2 passes in a row. One for 59 and another one for 60. That'll make your numbers look real good when you're throwing 2 passes in a row for over 50-yard TDs. This is another case. Mr. Liston got way behind the defense on that one. That's where this run is really setting up their pass plays for them well tonight.
And so Hillsboro is going to go for 2 again to make it actually a football score, 27-14. Not your normal thing because they missed 2 extra points, so they went for 2 earlier. They will go for 2 again, 26-14 right now. They'll hand it to, Johnson's going to take it himself, and he's just going to walk into the end zone around the left end. So Johnson walks in, the 2-point conversion is good, and it's 28-14 Hillsboro. They've doubled them up here as we go, 7:13 remaining in this game. We'll take a minute break. You're listening to KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Saturday, September 7th, you're invited to Twin City Toyota in our annual Children's Hot Wheel Races. Hi, this is John Poppel. Bring the kids and a canned food item for Ozark Food Pantry and 2 of their favorite Hot Wheel cars to Twin City Toyota on Saturday. Ages 3 to 7 are at 9:30 and ages 8 to 15 are at 11:30. Plus there are hot dogs and soda and a special appearance by local MMA fighter Lance Benoist. For more information, call Twin City Toyota or go to Twin City Days website at twincity.org. Get ready to race Hot Wheels Saturday, September 7th.
The Medicine Shop, with locations in Festus and Peevely, is committed to providing the residents of Jefferson County with much more than just prescription refills, like free local delivery, automatic refills, and reminders, diabetic and medical equipment, and the personal service that you deserve, just to name a few. That's the Medicine Shop Pharmacies, across from the post office in Festus and on Commercial Boulevard in Peevely, caring beyond prescription.
28-14 is the lead for the Hillsboro Hawks as they get another touchdown on the pass. Two of them have been from Jarrett Johnson. He connected with Jacob Kellum, and then right there to Devin Liston, and the kickoff is short. And so it will be 1st and 10 Fredericktown coming up at their own 35-yard. Yeah, we're going to thank our sponsors: Mercy Hospital Jefferson, Twin City Toyota, McFarland Travel in Festus, Comtree in Festus, YMCA of Jefferson County, Plaza Tire Service, Medicine Shop Pharmacies, the law offices of Roberts, Wooten, and Zimmer in Hillsboro, Farm Bureau Agent Joe Reed in Festus, the Lowry Law Firm in Hillsboro, and Bob Kister Trial Lawyer in Herculaneum. Spangler dropping back, rolling to the right, going to throw it, and he hits a man. He's going to be short of the first down. Quick tackle made there by Mock, but he hits hardwood. A good 7-yard pickup there for Fredericktown. That was Sam Mock on the tackle for Hillsboro, a 7-yard pickup. And it's 2nd and 3 from the 43. Spangler in the shotgun again, dropping back to pass, rolling to his left, looking deep, throwing deep, and it is complete as he's hit right as he catches it. Can't tell who that is.
To number 28.
I don't think that's... Excuse me, that's number 88, Zach Keller, on the catch for Fredericktown. Zach Keller, first time we've mentioned him, but he goes up, makes the big catch as he's hit. And Fredericktown moving the chains quickly here. Takes it into Hillsboro territory at the 42. Fredericktown knows they need to hurry, down 2 touchdowns here. 1st and 10, Spangler rolling to his right, going to throw on the run, and he hits Tyler Reed for another. No, they ruled it incomplete. Had it in his hands as he went up in the air, but I guess he dropped it as he fell down, as he hit the ground, and it's 2nd and 10. 6:23 to go. A 28-14 lead for the Hillsboro Hawks.
That would have been a nice catch. That ball was a little high. Young man went up there, tried to get it. Hillsboro stepped in right at the right time and put the hit on him to disrupt that play and pop it loose.
And I've noticed about Fredericktown, when they pass it, they never drop back and pass. It's always rolling right or rolling left. It's 4 receivers out. They send a man in motion. Spangler rolling to his right, looking that direction. Got to hit a man in the flat, and he's got him, number 11, Chris Filey. And he picks up, he completes the pass. That's maybe a 3-yard gain there for Chris Filey. And it will be 3rd and 7 coming up for Fredericktown. Clock continues to roll at 5:58 and counting. Fredericktown with the ball at the Hillsboro 40. Spangler in the gun, dropping back. Didn't roll, throws it to the left, and is it intercepted? It is! Number 1, Joe Melton with the interception for Hillsboro. The 3rd interception of the game. Hillsboro picks him off again for the 3rd time, and Hillsboro will take over in their own territory at the 42-yard line, and that is backbreaking for Fredericktown. They're moving the ball so well, down 2 touchdowns, knew they had to hurry, and that makes it real tough for the Black Cats now.
That was a great job by Joe Belton to get down on the ground and pick that up right off the turf.
Yeah, you wasn't sure if that would be an interception or not, but he did pick it right off the ground. So a nice interception there by Joe Melton. So Hillsboro will take over with 5:46 remaining, and once again the play clock has started, and I think we're going to get a timeout called here by Hillsboro. Yes, we will. We'll get a timeout called by the Hillsboro Hawks. We'll take a minute timeout as well. We'll be back in 60 seconds. This is Friday Night Football on KJFF and KJF Web TV.
Hi, this is Melody with the Lowry Law Firm. If you're facing criminal charges or suffering from devastating injuries, call our law office in Hillsboro or Festus. Since 1997, we have offered professional, service-oriented representation in Jefferson and surrounding counties. Our goal at the Lowry Law Firm is to put your mind at ease and, most importantly, achieve solid results. We are the Lowry Law Firm in Festus and Hillsboro. Look us up on the web at thelowrylawfirm.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Since 1974, Comtree has helped people suffering from alcohol and other drug abuse. Comtree remains committed to its mission to be an innovative, effective, and responsive community mental health center for Jefferson County. At Comtree, they believe in the importance of addressing issues of concern through direct patient care prevention and educational efforts. Professional care is available to you at Comtree with adult and adolescent programs, inpatient care, and 3 outpatient and aftercare locations. Call 931-2700.
We're back here at Hillsboro High School. Hillsboro leads at 28-14 on top of the Fredericktown Blackcats. 1st and 10, Hillsboro from their own 32. 5:46 remaining. And Eric, I would think this is when you give it to Walsh or to Kellum and you just run this game out. But we shall see what Hillsboro will do. 1st and 10. They hand it up the middle to Walsh. Plenty of room to run. A nice run it there by Chris Walsh. You know, he runs the way it looks like he's hit immediately. Like, okay, it's maybe 2 or 3. Hey, just keeps going. That was a 10-yard run after getting hit a yard and a half behind after the line of scrimmage.
It's almost like he just, okay, I'm done with you, and he drops one tackler, picks up the next tackler, drops him, just keeps dropping people off along the way while he's making a 10, anywhere from 5 to 10-yard run.
And this is exactly what you'd expect to Hillsboro. Just keep it running it up the middle, give it to Walsh, and run it down. Under 5.5 minutes to play. Hillsboro up by 2 touchdowns, and this is basically just the Hawks who play keep away here. 1st and 10 from the 43. And no, Johnson's going to take it himself, flips it to Hart. It gets loose. Hart picks it up, goes down the sideline, stays in bounds. He'll actually pick up a couple yards. Boy, that was dangerous there. Hart, ball was on the ground, but Hart able to pick it up. He actually made a play out of it.
Yes, he did. That was a very dangerous play. That pitch that's almost flat like that is very hard to catch.
And so that'll bring up 2nd down. A game of 2 on the play. Ball is right at the 45-yard line of Hillsboro. Did go out of bounds on the play, so that stops the clock at 5:08. Hillsboro with the ball at their 45.
Now they're clearly going to take their time and use as much of the play clock as they can.
Johnson under center, 1 receiver to the left, 1 to the right, 3 men in the backfield. Hart goes in motion. They hand it off to Kellum. Nice handoff there to the right side. Picks up the 1st down and a couple more. A 12-yard run. Yeah, that's a 14-yard run, excuse me. Yeah, it's a 12-yard run there by Jacob Kellum. And I'm amazed that Kellum picked up that ball because there were 3 guys he could have handed it to there.
Doing a great job. Gentlemen here in the booth noticed that Fredericktown has switched to a 5-3 defense away from their 4-4. They're trying to take away that middle of that field from Walsh.
And so that gets it into Fredericktown territory at the Blackcat 45. And the clock will continue to roll. And you'd think Hillsboro will take all the time in the world. Let that play clock get down to 1 before snapping the ball. Snap it with about 4 to go. Up the middle is Walsh running it. And he'll pick up, actually, no, I think that's Zach Hart, excuse me. Zach Hart on the carry there for Hillsboro. And he'll pick up 8 on the play.
Up the middle again. Hillsboro's been very effective running between the tackles tonight.
And so it will be 2nd and 8. And Hillsboro, this was basically their offense, especially in that 2nd quarter. Real slow drives, just 5 yards here, 6 yards here, 5 yards here. And 4 minutes to go in the game. Hillsboro up 2 touchdowns into Fredericktown territory at the 37. Johnson under center, man in motion goes Hart. They'll hand it off to him up the middle, room to run. And he'll pick up the 1st down and a couple more. Number 79 on the tackle for Fredericktown. That is Colt Biesemeyer. And the Hawks will move the chains again.
A little bit of that misdirection. Got the defense moving one way, came back the other way, and took it up the middle between the tackles again.
Yeah, the Black Cats really have just not had an answer for that run up the middle. Be interesting to talk with Brian Robbins after this game. We will have him after the game as well. 3:30 left. Johnson taking plenty of time. He'll hand it off to Kellum on the mixed direction, and he will get brought down, just a gain of 2 on the play. Good tackle made there by a couple members of the Black Cats.
That's Kellum with the carry. Reed Roberts.
Tried the misdirection, just going back to the right side this time. This time, Dalton King did a great job of staying in his lane and picking that tackle up.
Well, we want to thank our sponsor, B&A CarQuest of Hillsboro, Mercy Hospital Jefferson of Festus, Twin City Toyota, McFarland Travel and Festus, Comtree and Festus, YMCA of Jefferson County, and Plaza Tire Service. Thank them for making this broadcast possible. 2:45 remaining. Run up the middle by Hart. Flags on the play. Stiff arm. Drags the tackler. Takes it to the 12. There is a flag on the play. There's a couple of flags on the play. Both of them at the line of scrimmage. We shall see what the call is. We'll also see if the head referee can get it right the first time, or if it's going to take him a couple times to get it right. Illegal motion. Illegal shift on Hillsboro, so that will negate the good run by Hart, and it will back them up 5 yards as well, making it second and 8 from the 30. Penalty will stop the clock. Illegal shift on the Hawks. They've had a couple of those, and with so much motion, with Hart going in motion, we've seen that a couple times. That's something that you expect you'll see them. Hopefully, they'll work on that as the season goes on. This is still a very young, very green, as Brian Robbins calls, a very young and green team for the Hillsboro Hawks. And they started the clock, so it continues to roll at 2:26 to go. Hawks up 2 touchdowns here. Ball at the 35 of Fredericktown. 2nd and 13 to go. Johnson under center. Hart goes in motion. They hand it off to him up the middle. Breaks through an arm tackle. He's finally dragged down. And a good 8-yard gain there by Zach Hart up the middle. Chris Filey on the tackle for Fredericktown. And that'll bring the ball up to the 27-yard line of Fredericktown. And it makes it 3rd and 5.
I am just impressed with the way they have been able to run the ball up the middle. That has just been a fantastic show of just old school, drive it football, put your head down and go.
That's really been all it is for Hillsboro. Just run it up the middle, and that's done it. 3rd and 5. 2 receivers out, 3 men in the backfield. Hart goes in motion. Hart up the middle again. This time he's hit immediately. That time they stopped him. He was hit immediately right at the line of scrimmage. That was 58 Dalton King on the stop. He plugged that hole real quick.
Yes, he did, with authority.
Fredericktown will take their first time out of the ball game with 1:30 remaining in the game, down 2 touchdowns. We will take a 1-minute break as well. You're listening to KJFF Radio and KJF Web TV.
Putting your family first.
Hi, this is Calvin Dantley at the Jefferson County Family YMCA. We're looking for teens ages 12 to 17 to be a part of our Teen Leaders Club. They'll have the opportunity to interact with each other and have fun while discussing topics like goal setting, financial management, community service, and even dating and relationships, just to name a few. Contact me, Calvin Dantley, and find out more about the Teen Leaders Club at your local Jefferson County Family YMCA, 931-9622, or online at www.ymcastlouis.org.
Forget everything you thought you knew about buying tires and hurry in and see the gang at Plaza Tire in Festus. Why? Because Plaza Tire customers enjoy Plaza Tire's lowest price pledge. Plaza Tire service will match or beat any competitor's total tire purchase on any comparable tire. Plus tires anytime with hundreds of tires in stock. No appointment necessary on tire installations. That's Plaza Tire, the quick change artist located at 301 Festus Center Drive in Festus.
It's up 28-14, and they have the ball and they are driving, and they got this drive started about 5 minutes, and they have you wondered if they could use up the whole clock, and it looks like they might be able to. The way they've run the ball, 90 seconds remaining, ball at the Fredericktown 25. They might actually score before that time is out. Johnson under center. I bet you Hart will go in motion here. Are they going to send a man in motion? Now there goes. No, that's a different one. That's not Zach Hart. Run up the middle to Chris Walsh. He could just bowls forward, takes it up to the 15. Another first down. That's a 10-yard run for Chris Walsh.
And right up the middle again. Very nicely done, young man. Very nicely done.
And another first down for Hillsboro. And that continues to move the clock. 1:16 and counting. And Hillsboro has the ball at the Fredericktown 15. And the Black Cats, they just can't get off the field.
That defense has spent a tremendous amount of time on the field tonight.
Same formation here for Hillsboro. They hand it off up the middle. That handoff is to number 34, Cole Meador. And that takes it under a minute to go. Pickup of about 1 on the play for Hillsboro. Johnson will trot to the sideline and get the play from his head coach, Brian Robbins. Robbins a little unsure before this game. You know, he's very aware that his team is very young, very green, still learning, but I'm sure he's going to, I would think he'll be pretty happy after this win today.
Absolutely, and it looks like this long-time rivalry is going to stay with the home team.
Yep, for the 4th year in a row, the home team should win this game. Under 20 seconds to go. Hillsboro only needs to slap it once here. Then a man in motion. They hand it off up the middle. That is to Cameron Judeman. Get a couple of different players in. Get a chance to carry the ball, and that is going to do it. 6, 5, 4, 3. And that is going to do it. Hillsboro takes their first victory of this season. They are 1-1 on the season. Both these teams go to 1-1 with this game today. And Hillsboro, once again, the home team against these two teams. The last 4 times they've met, the home team has won. And so Hillsboro will take the win here again. So we will take a 1-minute break, and we will go ahead and send it to the end zone. You're listening at Wexel. We'll take a break. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. You know, you don't have the officials tallies there, Eric, but really just running the ball by Hillsboro just did it.
Absolutely. Chris Walsh up the middle, Kellum slashing around the outside, and then you take Kellum, throw him in there with Liston. Johnson did a great job of hitting them both with some very long pass plays, both of them over 55 yards. Well timed, well played, well done.
And you know, we kind of quickly forget Fredericktown threw 3 interceptions, and Hillsboro was able to make them pay for that.
Yes, they did. Fredericktown returned the favor by the opening kickoff of the second half, returning a mistake by the Hillsboro Hawks on the fumble. But on the turnovers, Hillsboro definitely won the tail of the tape, and that is the stat that everybody talks about when it comes to football, the turnovers. Those will just flat out kill you. On the defensive side of the ball, Hillsboro in the second half did a much better job. They really shut down the pass and the run. And on the for Fredericktown, number 5, Brock O'Neill, that young man was just all over the field. He must have had at least, I've got him down for about 9 tackles on his own, not counting the half tackles and the assist.
Yeah, he really had a great game defensively for Fredericktown. Well, that's going to do it for here. 28-14 is the final here from Hillsboro High School. The final, Hillsboro Hawks, once again, the home team wins between these two teams, and both teams move to 1-1 on the season, the first win of the season for the Hillsboro Hawk. Well, that's going to do it. We're going to go ahead and join KREI here on Regional Radio. And so for Eric Oberle, I'm Tommy Self saying good night from Hillsboro.